clear as this is. Wait. Alright, hopefully this stays. We'll see what happens, I guess, throughout the stream. But we should be on for the 2025 AFL draft. What's going on? How many got in chat? How's everyone going? I've got like 17 different tabs on the screen, so I'm trying to figure out which part I want to put in which spot. What do I have on the screen? I don't actually have the right tab. I know it's not supposed to be what's on there. ChatGPT. Okay, it's not needed at all. We'll put the draft broadcast on like we did last year because it helped the stream do really well, and it was good to just have in the background. And there seems to be no issue when streaming the draft or trade period or any of that sort of type of stream in showing it on the screen. So I'll bring that up when we get the opportunity to, but we do have a little bit of time before they'll do pick one. I'm assuming it's going to be Willem Dersma. Everyone probably is that has at least spent 5 minutes researching the draft profiles, but I've just got a little graphic on the screen on there, but I assume it'll be Dersma and he'll be picked up as a Victorian, as a midfielder. I've got to get the chat up. So yeah, I'm just going to try and find one of my 25 tabs that is open and on one of my screens. And then I can start moving along. Yeah, all right. A few people wanted me to chuck. It's not going to be the KO. I'm not putting the KO thing up. It's on AFL Draft Radio. Don't think I did KO last year. And if I did do KO last year, I'm going to just do the trade radio instead. So it's give me like a couple of minutes to do that. But let's get the live chat up. On the bottom is the running power rankings. I've got the positions. Obviously can't include more than just that, but I've got a little bit of a cheat sheet on the screen. So I know a lot of the first 30 prospects in terms of their profiles and what their strengths are and all that. Where do we watch it? I think, yeah, KO, and it's probably on the AFL website. I'll have a look at that when I get the chance to. I'm just trying to figure out where I can put this mic because I don't want to have it, I don't want to hold it. So if I can maybe dig it here, I can leave it there. That might actually work. Who's Wally Man? Name 5 players in this draft class. You've got Willem Dersma, Zeke Uland, Harry Dean, Cooper Duff Tyler. That's 4. Bro Swan's disappearing. Pick one will be Dirt. Yeah, I'll grab the broadcast now as we speak. And I know that person was most likely, I'm not going to say the name, but the name that shall not be named, who put that in the stream. Watch.
Up there, of course. Acts of kindness have long...
Yeah, I guess I can only name 4, Wally Man. Oh, well. Oh, well, mate. According to you, I can only name 4. Shit.
Acts of kindness have long-term profound impacts. Thanks to Coleridge, we are surprising a young Hawthorn fan with an inner sanctum match day VIP.
Can you guys hear that? Yep.
At the Hawthorn Football Club game today.
Just an ad. All right, so this is what we'll put up on the screen.
And then, of course, Cam Nan, who says he prefers to play on
Don't want it too loud.
He kicked 7 goals in a game this year, so when you kick 7 in a game,
put a timer on. For what purpose?
Forward a little bit, so he's one that I can certainly see playing some footy next year as well. But
what do you want me to put a timer on?
Certainly a year to remember for the South Aussies.
Didn't Cam say that
I want to get this on the screen for starters. I don't know what fucking want this to be held. I want to.
This is just crazy. I mean, that's a massive
Chuck in my jumper again. That's the only reason I'm wearing a jumper, so I can actually leave it for here.
Who we know his
But it might fall.
brother Mateus is at St Kilda. Just tell us.
Just gonna leave it there.
Yeah, he's a half forward.
100 on chat. If you guys haven't liked the stream, I'll turn it down as well, just so I can hear my own thoughts for now.
This year, unfortunately, wasn't a part of that carnival winning team, but very exciting. Can mark above his head. Can
All right, give me 1 second.
Confident
What's going on, Rage Prods?
I don't know if he features tonight or tomorrow
Not the
night.
channel
There
to
is
watch
some
if you want
interest
info
tonight.
on the
We've
draft
had some
prospects.
interest West Coast as
What's
well.
you to put that in the stream?
Another couple of clubs.
you know, people are going to want to watch to
their
watch
top
what I
30s.
think and
So
hear my
that's if the
thoughts
right club
anyways,
matches
mate.
up, but he'll be at an AFL club, no doubt, across
We
the
love
next
the
couple
I know
of
there are
years.
heaps of other channels covering it, and they know it more than I do. But as I said before, I still want to. I have a rough understanding of what's going to happen tonight.
A truly unique and special part of our game. And there
Just
are a
if
few
we have a mod in
things
the
to
chat,
note
any of those
tonight.
sort of comments, just
Biggest
get
one
rid of
we'll
them
get
because
to in just
they're
a
not
moment is Harry
trying to
Dean,
constructively
obviously tied to the
criticise. They're
Blues
just
there. His
trying to
dad, Peter,
get under my
a
skin. They're not
premiership
going to do
player
that
with the
tonight.
Blues, but
I'm
Charlie
going to turn it
Banfield,
right.
Riley, his dad
Source.
drew on 2 flags with West Coast.
Yeah, some names there, and some names that might get through to the rookie draft on Friday.
Alright,
as
let's
well.
see if
Will
that'll
Darcy being
show up
one
on
of
the
them, Tom
screen.
Wright, another Tom McGuan, who's tied to Collingwood.
Let's
They, of
see.
course, haven't nominated.
Acts of kindness have
Fuck,
long-term
it's giving me the ad.
profound impacts. Thanks
I'm,
to Coolridge. We are surprising a
giving
young
Coolridge another
Hawthorn
bloody
fan with an inner
segment.
sanctum match day VIP experience at the Hawthorn Football Club game.
Have we got any mods? Sarah, any of those comments?
Callaway, who's
Keep an
gonna be
eye
a
out.
fascinating one to see what Richmond does with its third
I
pick,
shouldn't
whether or not they take
shouldn't be
Callaway.
hearing this
This is how the
twice.
team-
This is slipping away. I'm hearing it on a second screen, so I'm just trying to find out where that is. Why can I hear this twice? I think I'm just gonna have to get rid of that because I can hear it twice, and I don't want to hear it twice and not figure out the fuck. I'm just brilliant. You can hear the ad again.
Thanks to Coolridge, we are surprising a young Hawthorn fan with an inner
This is what I'll
sanctum
do.
match day VIP experience at the Hawthorn Football Club game today.
So Jacob Wiedering, I would not be shocked if
This
Harry
is what I'll
Dean's in
do.
the round 1 team next year.
And Jack Ison's the other one. He's
Turn it down.
obviously, not a father-son prospect, but the Blues will need to potentially
Add a new
match
window.
bid for him if that does come. Are they going to be able
Wrong
to do
one.
Yeah, they will. And that trade with
What comments?
Essendon and North Melbourne respectively will help him.
I'll just tell you the accounts. Any Wally Man or
It's going to be touch and go to see whether or not the bid comes tonight.
there was another one, another account. I think it was Bailey. Just any you'll know what to read when you see it. I'll
As a half forward.
be honest with you,
Clearance
shouldn't be
winner
too
again
hard.
this season as well, likes his move into the
Alright,
midfield, so
window
a couple of
capture.
weapons going their way.
He was just 7 years old.
Why
was,
fucking-
Harry Dean when
Here.
The Peter Dean
Alrighty.
was put together at Carlton. It's now
On the
changed
screen
names,
now.
it's the Carlton Father-Son Academy, but just so special for that family tonight. And
Turn it up
we
a little bit
know
as well.
that Peter is going to be presenting the Guernsey, and we love the Guernsey presenters.
Hmm. I am
You got
sweating in
an
this.
inkling on
The
a
only
few
reason I'm
other
wearing a
ones.
jumper
Yeah, I mean,
is-
Harley
is I
Reid's
thought
flown
I
into
could,
town
like,
to do the
attach
number 1
the,
pick,
the
so that's a great
microphone
thing.
stand to
I
my
think
jumper,
that'd
so
be
I don't have
really
to
good
hold
moment
it. But
to
if
see.
I have to
Only 2
hold it,
years after
I'm gonna have to
Nick
do like
Nat
holding
presented
it and
his number
putting in
9
the new
jumper.
pics
He'll present
with the
Dawn Burns
graphics
with
and all
his
that.
jumper tonight. So Guy McKenna will either do 1 or
I
2
guess
more jumpers as well.
it's
former
gonna be one of those
captain of
nights.
the Eagles.
I'll
he's
try
there.
and
Dyson
get
Heppel
back
will
to the
do
chat, though.
the Essendon jumpers. Hassan Mann, one of the all-time legends.
Who-
of the Melbourne
EDF
Football Club,
junior
will be up there
highlights,
as well on
I
stage
believe
with their 2 jumpers.
7:30.
Dave Asprey, Gus Hooley,
I reckon
in the
probably
top 10.
first draft
Say Brett Kirk.
pick will be
It's,
announced
Brett Kirk.
7:40,
If the Swans
I think
get
it was
that
a little
early
bit
bid
later
for
last
Fremantle,
year.
I think he'll be down there. So yeah, that'll be good. So just
Yeah,
before
they
we get
posted
rolling,
about
which is pretty
Lawler
close,
wearing number 4,
Yeah.
which I
let's
think is
go
pretty
through some
good.
of the
Good move
deals
for the
that,
for the
are
Tigers,
being done
having him,
on
you
the
know,
clock
move into
just
that
as
number
it all
early in
happens,
his
because this will
career.
be happening
I think
pretty,
that'll do
swiftly
him
as soon as the
a lot of
gates
good.
open. So
It's a good
Gold
move.
Coast, in one of its trades, will trade a future second-round pick for the Giants.
Can I turn this down? Why is it so
Suns
loud for me?
third-round pick for Adelaide's pick
I don't want it
48.
to be loud for the viewers though,
Future third-round
or
pick for
I don't want it to be
Adelaide,
as loud as
pick
it is for me.
49.
But I still want you
Then we'll
guys
see
to
the
hear
Western
the
Bulldogs trade pick
the
14,
broadcast. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit more.
and 53 for the Suns.
That's
pick
good.
15 and 29. So that's the Suns deals.
A lot of the viewers in my chat aren't really asking any draft questions, which I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. We'll get more of those people as the stream starts, but I know maybe the top 25 a bit about all of those players. Then sort of it starts to get a bit thin when we head into like the players that are ranked 30 or below. So you got the other power rankings on the bottom. They're all the players who, according to I think the website was the Central Rookie Me website. They've got like a list of 50. I just put in the top 35, 40. Are you happy with the Saints draft positions? It doesn't matter.
I hope you're writing down and taking notes
But
certainly is. So we'll keep
with
you
the
across it
Saints
right here
though,
on
can this
AFL.com.au
fucking
and the
laptop, I'm
AFL
using my
line.
other
Now, we are
laptop
not far
that's
away
really
from the
slow,
start here for the
just so I get another
2025
screen, because
Telstra
I actually
AFL draft.
show
If
you what I
are
did to
just
my
joining
monitor
us
before the
for
stream
the
started.
first time,
I'm
welcome
actually
to you. We've
not
got a
happy about
massive
it.
night ahead. Of
I
course,
didn't
tonight is just night
have the
one
stand
of the
secured
draft.
tightly
Night
enough,
two coming
and
your
this is
way
what I
tomorrow.
did.
We're going to cover the
So it's
first round
completely
tonight, which
destroyed. Luckily, I
Cal,
do
you
have
mentioned
one other
might go
one,
out to sort
but
of
that's
27,
just not
28
great. I'm
picks.
not
Yeah,
happy
maybe
about that.
30.
That'll
But
depend on the bids, Nat.
Yeah.
So,
as long as
we'll
we
wait
get
to see
Kai
when the
Fincher, I
bids
think
come.
that's
That'll see
the
some
main
picks
man that the
disappear,
Saints are
we'll see some
targeting.
picks
That'll be
push up the
happening in the
board,
second round. We
some
could
kickoffs
trade up for
added
that.
to the draft if things
There'll
are
be
matched,
some
or if they're
tradings. I
not,
think Carlton
that's obviously an option for clubs
will
to
trade
match
away
the
their
bids
pick
too and
9.
say, "Look, we
So
love
I
this
think
player, but
to
we're not
Essendon,
gonna
I'm
do
pretty
that."
sure.
So if the bid is
And there'll
early
be a lot of
enough, that can
matching
happen
bids.
as
So
well.
as you can see on the
We'll have
screen,
at least one, maybe two
West
bids to make
Coast
tonight, as well
will get the
themselves.
number 1 pick, but you could see Melbourne's pick 8 slide to like 13.
Started, so we are underway,
12 or
and
13.
I'm guessing right now all these deals.
Don't
that
you
you've
get
been
copyright with the
talking
video?
about, Cal, as
You
soon as
might,
Dino
but like
opened,
you
we knew that some of these trades were going to go through. So we'll wait.
you
for
might
those
after the
to
stream,
come
but
through.
like
We will
during
bring
it's
them to you live
it's
as
not a
they
problem.
happen here on AFL.com.au and the AFL Live.
All right, we're
app.
actually
But
getting underway
not sure
earlier than I
West Coast
thought. I
need
thought it
the
was going to
full
take a little
5
bit more
minutes
extra
here
time,
for
but
the time
clearly
when
not.
Willem
It's been on the clock for 3
Thank
months.
fuck for that.
They
That's
really,
actually good.
really have, and he's just been a standout of this year's draft as well.
I go to school with
It's
Aiden
become
Harris,
very
and he
simple.
plays
He
alongside
was
Cooper
the
Duff
highest
Tyler in
scored
the Calder
drafted.
Cannons.
Yeah, I mean,
He told me he's the
a
best
quality
ruck by a
player,
mile.
and he has been that way,
Yeah, I
for
think
some
he's
time. This has been
guaranteed almost to be the Eagles' second pick.
As well.
Yep.
He's,
And
he's a
it's you can
prospect who's
play the
dominated
dual
in
position
all
as well.
levels.
So
He's
he'll be
winning
a good
elite sport, junior pathways.
he'll
So,
be a good
yeah,
get.
he's,
I
he's
assume
been
West
waiting
Coast
for
will
this
pick him up.
moment. 193 centimetres, can move around the ground, as we said. The town of Foster will be celebrating tonight, as will, I'm sure, his family too. He's got a big.
I actually, do you know what I noticed? I can just look at the screen on OBS. I've actually now got a little bit of extra room to put another tab on, which is
And
great.
Riley, we found out today too, he's an
You go to school with
83rd.
Riley
Do you think he'll be
Onley. He's a
able
gun,
to
should be top
identify a
10.
West Coast Eagle?
We asked him if he could identify an eagle, and he said yes, he could. I'm
Should be
fascinated
top
how
10.
He actually starts his AFL career positionally. Is it probably
Riley
across
Onley.
the forward line or?
You see Aiden Harris in the 2026 AFL draft.
All right.
I only know like
That
25,
is
30
going
names
to
I got
be
here on the
in
screen.
now. So,
These
with
names
the
aren't
first
appearing in
pick
my
in the
top 40, top
2025
45. So
Telstra
either they're
AFL
just going to
draft,
possibly
West
be
Coast
bolters.
has selected
Here we go. Pick one.
Dersma. So there you go. It is absolutely.
What
confirmed
is? I think it's just because it's not on KO,
Boy
but it
from
doesn't matter.
Foster.
Yeah,
It's
Will
a dream come true for him, really.
Willem
Yeah, I
Dersma.
love the
There we
young
go. We
backs
can lock
himself.
that
He
in.
takes the game on with his kicking. He can mark above his head. His games late in the season. For
Can't remember the last
Casey,
year we've had a
AFL
number
side
one
were
draftee that
really,
has
really
been a
impressive, and I think probably
surprise
stamped
selection.
himself
I
as
think
the
they've all
number
just
one
been
guy this year.
like
He's
expected.
able to
Yeah, everyone knew
do
it was
that
going to
type
happen
of thing.
before
He's a
the
dancer.
draft.
He's a dancer. He dances with the ball.
Let's just
He dances
update
off
both
field
of
as
the
well, with his mum's
the
family
graphics.
dancing training school.
We are so backs as
beauty, and I think we'll see him.
was
straight
it
away
Lachlan
for the
Calder?
Eagles. Be managed in
Finally
different
getting
roles.
some
Could be
decent,
half forward, could be half
high-end
back,
draft
maybe to
picks.
start his career. He has ambitions to be
Got
in
Harley
there
Reid,
through
pick
the
one in
midfield,
2023,
so he'll
but
be able
apart
to
from
do
that, you haven't really had too many massively high-end draft picks for someone so shit as you guys have been.
As soon as he left here, I think
But
he
yeah,
was
his strengths are Dersma. I've looked it up
so,
here.
I think that would have been the
Intercepting,
meeting to,
speed,
maybe
endurance,
stop the
endurance.
Ridley
Sorry, and he's a
Nudge
goal-kicking
say,
mid.
"You're gonna be an Eagle, Will."
So
Well,
and he
when
can
you
actually play in
started,
any
you had in
position as
contact
well.
with
So
the
he's not
Eagles
just a
earlier today.
midfielder.
There
He
was
can
a
be
wry
pushed into the
smile,
forward
which
line. He
says
can
that
play
they might have
half-back.
been
So
foxing and just
he'll
couldn't say.
probably
We will
just
ask
be
him
that
because
player that
Willem
can
Dersma
slot
is
right into
going to
West
join
Coast
us a
squad.
little bit later on in
So there you
our
go.
show when he's come down from the high.
So now
That
this
is,
pick
been
2,
the
it could be a
number one
matched
draft
bid.
pick, which is quite
It
incredible.
probably will be a
Won't
matched
pick
bid, to
swap
be
will
honest, and I
coming
think
through.
it'll be
So this is the
Zeke
one between
Ulan,
the Gold Coast Suns and the Dogs that you were talking about.
Yep,
which will
that's the
piss
first
me
one
off a little
chosen
bit
now
with
that
the
we
order of the
spoke
draft.
about
I've got to move
earlier,
everything
so that
down.
little pick swap will see the Suns
That
get
will
more
actually be
points
quite
and
annoying.
the Dogs push their second round pick in. But of course, the Eagles, while they're on the clock, we're expecting
I go to school
a
with
bid here for Zeke Uland. The
Tango
captain player
Baldy at his
said that
peak
this
would have
one
been a number 1 draft
plays
pick.
out,
I actually
but,
watched back
he's right in that group. Or do they
a
just
couple
pick
of old
themselves
career
and
modes
say,
just to
"Don't
just
worry
get a
about
bit of
the bids, that'd
nostalgia.
be
He was
very much against what the view
he was
heading
like
into
the
draft
only
has
player
the
that would
view
kick
has
like
been that
6 or
they
7
will
goals.
bid
He'd kick more
and
than
will
half the
not
goals for
only
the
just make clubs
teams
pay
they're
it,
on.
but go according to
Add the
top
name to
order.
pick one.
If
I
Saint
did that.
was not attached
forgot
to
to
an
save it.
academy and he was in
There
the
you go.
open pool, where would you have him? Would you still have him in this spot and Willem
Thanks for letting me know.
Him?
I think I ranked him second.
Any
in my
Tasmanians in the
rankings,
top 20?
and I had
Not
him
really.
number 1 probably in July, and then I think Will's.
Not really.
rest of
Like in the
season
top
elevated
50
him.
of the
And
power
to be
rankings,
fair, Zeke hadn't played too much
no
footy,
Tassies were in there.
across
So
the season, so that was probably an aspect.
not
to
a
that, but yeah, I think he's
huge
right in
talent
that
pool for the
top rung. He
Tasmanians, I
deserves
guess,
to
in
be.
this
He's a
this
Jet.
year's draft
We
pool.
think with the bid coming on Zeke,
Like,
that's obviously why
It's been
the
well
Gold Coast have
documented,
get
to
all
be
its
honest with
trades
you,
done
that it's
now
not
because
been
those points are about to get
the
eaten up. If it is
most
placed
quality
once they
drafts
wanted to, they
class
couldn't
of
afford it to wait
recent years,
any
and probably
longer.
has been
Pick swaps need to
one of
come
the
through almost
shitter
instantly.
draft class in the
You
last 10,
across all
15
the
years. So
maths and the points
to be
this
not
year.
in
Have
the
you
first
got a
round isn't the
calculator
biggest
there, have you?
What I would
problem
say,
for
though,
someone like
is
us at St
we
Kilda.
know how important a draft this is for West Coast, obviously. Having
I think they're going to
Columbus
bid on
and then
Zeke
13.
Ulan.
It's been an important.
That's
4
my
years for them, and
guess,
If they use their
sports
3
nut.
first-round picks this year, it'll be 7 first-rounders in the last 4 years.
Should I actually put on the KO? I can't remember what I had it on last year, but I feel like the KO broadcast is a bit better. If last year I was displaying the KO broadcast and I had no issue, then I'm just going to quite simply just put it on that. So give me a couple seconds. Oh, since when was Dan Does Footy streaming this?
Another swap goes through. That's that one that we've long mooted, Cal, of Essendon moving into pick 9. And
Let's look that up real quick.
Yeah, revealed this on Saturday. This one was well in train. And
Use KO only if I'm allowed to use KO. If I used it last year, I'll do it. If I
because that'll potentially help the Bombers pay for Adam Swade.
If it's too much for a risk, I'm just going to leave this. And I think it might be too much for a risk.
Really important as well to be able to match both of their bids.
Let's have a look. What did I use?
And the next one, we'll see
I did use KO. Fuck, alright, well, yes or no to use KO? I used KO, I didn't see an issue. I can't remember why I made the decision to use KO, because I thought that would have been too much of a risk. Unless they've like fucking changed the rules, I could be in trouble here. Alright, bid pending, so it looks like Zeke Ulan will go to Gold Coast. I'm going to sign into KO actually.
He's doing those duties tonight, which is very exciting for him.
So they've had
Just a better coverage.
Absolute star
It's a
in
much better coverage, and they actually
another one
interview the
shifter.
draftees as
Zeke
well.
Ulan's another name that could be in the mix that we've heard mentioned around this type of selection.
Yeah, Zeke.
It might not let me share screen. That's the only
He dominated his 17th year, made
worry.
All-Australian, looked a star, looked ready to run straight away, and then had a back injury this year, so we didn't see him until.
It's only
the
worth a
last 4 or
try
5
if it'll
games of the
actually
year.
work.
Stepped
I'm gonna
straight
try
into
that.
VFL footy playing for the Gold Coast and looked pretty much at home. He's got his brother Bodie there at the Gold Coast already.
Yeah,
so
I think
he
they may
looks
have
a
changed
very
it so you
unique
can't actually share
Joey,
screen
we
on it
noticed
anymore
before
from
some
last
numbers
year.
up on screen. That's the trading of picks that's going on between
Dylan
the clubs,
Alexander on the
so that
yeah,
the clubs with academies
yeah.
and obviously
He
father sons,
mentioned that
etc. Can get
when
enough
they did
points.
the
We know there's been a
that
big
stream
change
with
in the
Pommy.
point system this year. It
That
is
was fucking
much
sick.
tougher for
Pommy
clubs
has
to
this
be able
like.
to retain their academy
I don't know
talent, so
how
it's
he's
all
made
just
it, but
getting
it's
the
like this
numbers and the
whole
points
system,
right.
like a
that's
draft
right.
simulator
And
board he
Woodworth
made. It
explained
probably
it
would have
pretty
taken
well,
over like
before the
hundreds of
start.
hours
So
of like
obviously
work
Carlton
and
have trade out those 2 picks.
and
They're still
effort.
going to get the player
Sorry,
they want,
I'll
Harry
put the
Dean,
screen
and
back
more
on the
points for Jack Ison, that allows
on the
Essendon to come
on the
into
screen
top
right now.
10
The
again.
screen, but I'm just trying
We
to see if
saw
I can
that
get
as well.
KO
There was
up.
a little just a swap there between
It
the
might-
Gold
it
Coast
might
and the
not
Western
work. I might
Bulldogs,
just have
which
to
was
leave
interesting.
this.
Gold Coast move up 1 spot. The Western Bulldogs just slide back.
Or just have nothing on the screen. It's not that essential, is it? Anyway, pick 2, Gold Coast.
West Coast's bid. So with pick 2,
This is just going to piss me off a little bit, isn't it?
Zeke Ulan from the Gold Coast Suns Academy and the Burleigh Junior
It's
Football Club.
actually a pain to move every club down. But Gold Coast, I've got to actually be really on top of this. Gold Coast get their man in Zeke Ulan. Shock. I don't think there'll be a shock in the top 5, to be honest.
Gold Coast is the Suns' first ever draft pick, David Swallow.
There you go, David Swallow doing the honours.
What a moment, what an incredible moment for Zeke. He is described as a perfectionist, a smart and hard runner, a great leader. Shifter, I understand he's studying full-time, a bit of law
I
on
love
the
this.
side with all his football, working as a paralegal.
Alex, thank you for the
in
12
law
months,
firm.
mate.
This guy is a wonderful
Well, I want to know
citizen,
how I
a
did it
wonderful
last year.
footballer, and
Because
will be
I
a great
did it
addition
last
to the
year
Gold
pretty
Coast
easily.
Yes, and he certainly didn't waste his time whilst injured. So he
Who
thought,
said
how
that?
else can I
Croakman.
learn
How
about
do you
this
say your
game?
name?
He threw himself into the coach's boxes or even down on the boundary fence to learn more about the game and become a stronger person. I liken him to an Errol Gould, and I don't know how good.
How the fuck did I do KO last year?
That was COVID year. People just missed him in his draft.
Anyways,
year.
yeah, Zeke Geelong.
But this boy's a bit the same. Left footer. Just
Very highly rated, obviously, brother being in Bodie.
He can find that gap when there's a little gap to get through with his step and a prodigious kick in that left foot. So an amazing talent. We saw dominate 16s and under 18s, both of his
And I'll move.
It's funny you mentioned that, Shifter, about his kicking ability. He's a kick-first player. What I love about him when I watch him, he's got really fast feet. He gets himself into position to kick early, takes risks inside, and in today's game, when you've got the ability to bring the ball back inside, change lanes, it just opens up all sorts of options, Joey.
Yeah, and another one who's been around the program, his brother, obviously, Bodie's been there for a couple of years now, and he's learned off the best, and this is just another asset.
Alright, instead of having the pickers in graphic, I'm just going to leave.
He might be on a wing for the Gold Coast, but they're going to take advantage of that lethal left leg of his, and
I'm just going to leave this.
He's been able to do some training with the Sun squad. How
so
big
the
an
next
advantage is that
pick
for a
that
kid
gets
when you're coming
selected, I'm just
into a
going to
club
leave
to be
it and have
familiar
that
with it,
graphic
to know
instead.
the players, to
It'll
know
save
the
me a bit
coaches,
of time.
staff, and to be able to join feeling, you know, like you belong.
Yeah, it would make a big difference. He would know the players, he would know their system and how they want to go about it. He'd have relationships with the coaches already, so they've got a big advantage. He can head into pre-season feeling comfortable, understanding what he needs to do to get a game, and understand the environment.
Ben Dixon
should be on the screen now.
Zeke.
KO. It might not work though. I've got like 15 things I'm trying to do at once, and I don't think this is going to work. But I do want to actually use the KO broadcast. What I could do if KO doesn't work, I'll still watch it on KO, but I'll
with the Suns Academy midfield group, and I worked on.
I'll just share the AFL one. So I'll give it another crack. G'day, Free Goated. What's up? Any players you're keen on? You've got your eye keen on for the first round? Where's the thing where the guy announces it? Are people really only here to see the broadcast? I feel like that's not a good sign. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get it on the screen, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It'll probably just be black. It'll do this. Look at this. It's just going to take me to the home page. I'd love to know how I got it done last year. I thought last year all I did was just do the AFL broadcast, which isn't as good. I think, Chad, it's just too much of a risk. What I'll do is I'll watch the KO broadcast, because I prefer that over the one on the AFL website. But for you guys that want to see something on the screen, I can chuck that up there instead. That's probably the way I'm going to do it. So it'll still work. Let's see. Where was the... There we go. I'll just play it from here. It's probably going to need audio though. Is that what you mean by the thing where the guy announced it, Bailey? Shit, we're already on pick 3, and it looks like they're probably doing another bid.
Quality player, and we know Gold Coast are going to be winning a lot of games for a lot of years to come.
Yeah, I love watching him play national championships. Enjoyable to know that he's going to be in the match you're going to see what he can do. And you've seen some of it in the vision there, those times he slipped through.
They're pretty close. Now I can hear 2 screens.
Can you speak a little bit of Australian? My dad's from WA.
He did that when he's 14 years of age, so we've been watching him for quite a while and enjoying.
I don't know what I'm going to do here. I don't know if I pick KO or if I pick the AFL.
Win a premiership. It feels like the Gold Coast Suns are taking steps closer to doing that one day. We can see another bid pending.
Will they show the... They're not going to show the plays if you're watching on the AFL website.
Eagles there.
I don't think they've got the rights to.
And we're just waiting to see.
That's
which
why
player that
I
is.
want
There's
to
a few,
just watch on K because you get the interviews.
Potentially might be one that's been mentioned as being right up the top there.
Yeah, absolutely,
show it.
Maybe
if I do this. Maybe if I do this.
Bid put in by the West Coast Eagles, because if it happens to be him, I actually liken him to Tom Barrass. I think he's that type of player.
This could actually fucking work.
More leg speed, which is actually frightening.
Black.
So
yeah.
He gave us nightmares.
Fair enough.
You remember his father, Peter Dean, at
I'm not
the
risking
Blues.
it. KO won't work. Chad, I've tried like 3 times. It's just blacking out. So
Carlton
it's either we got AFL or
West
nothing.
Coast bid. So with pick 3, Carlton select
Harry Dean going to Carlton, the key defender, which means that so far Cal Toomey's gotten the first 3 picks correct. got to put the mic back down. Chat, it's not going to work. ADFL, it's not going to work. I've tried like twice.
Presenting the jumper for Carlton is
What, do you want me to call up the KO
defender,
headquarters and get them to do it for me? They're not going to do it for me.
Well, Harry emerged from that pack of mates that just piled on
So
there
what's
with
his
a
height?
big smile.
I'm going to go on the draft profile here
ecstasy.
real quick because I
What a
actually haven't got
moment
everything
for
jotted
him.
down.
Harry Dean, whose father Peter, of course, a premiership player with the Blues, and how cool that he's going to get his jumper from his dad.
Yeah, this is going to be a very special moment. His dad, as you said, premiership player, and this is the romance and the beauty of the father-son that they get to continue the Dean legacy at Carlton. You know, he's the best defender in the
I
draft
need like
pool. He's everything
15
you want in a
screens
defender.
for God's sake.
He's rock
I
solid,
want
he's competitive, he hardly gets beaten, but he can mark the
Did
footy, he
Fox
can
Footy
use it
Lab
well.
rank him 8?
Shifter, and there's opportunity
actually,
at Carlton to play pretty
he's
early
ranked
when you
7th
think about, you know, the Silvani
in my
role, moving
rankings.
on to St Kilda.
Can you leave the
Haynes
guy
and McGovern
announcing
getting
the
on a bit
picks?
in age, so he gets a real opportunity alongside Jacob Wiedering to make the
Yeah, I'll
Dean
put
now
it back
famous
on.
for
That's
young
probably the
Harry.
only thing we're going to get
Completely different
showed.
story to the first two in that he missed his 16th
Or we just have nothing, I don't know. Because I want to watch it on KO.
But everyone was there for the first practice match when the Murray Bushies played this year.
I feel like there could still be a way of displaying it, because I did do it last year, and I know last year you couldn't actually show
he grew in confidence. He
the
played well
screen.
that day, dominated the national championships, looked to be the best tall defender in the draft, and the son of a gun. And there's the gun, his father Peter, about to present or is presenting the jumper.
Nah,
Amazing,
I've
isn't
tried.
it? Remarkable to see
Actually,
that.
no.
That's what I love.
I
As
think
you
it works
mentioned,
if you do it
Joey,
on
it's the history of the
on
father-son
bloody
type prospects
on
and seeing them
Microsoft
walk
Edge.
in their father's shoes. But
Maybe.
the thing
I remember I
love about
tried
this
that and
young
actually
man as we
fucking
watch,
worked.
I instantly started thinking about watching him play alongside
Got a
Jacob
lot of people that
Wiedering.
want me
He'll
to
have
do it.
no
I'm like,
better
well, I'll
teacher
try
than
it
Jacob
again.
Wiedering, both as a person.
No, I'm
and
not going
as
to
a
screen
player,
record on.
and
It's
geez, I
not that
just
big of
hope
a
the
worry.
Blues put this kid in
go
early,
into
let him
so
learn
much
for a year
effort
or two, because
try and screen
it's
share
going to
when it's
happen
probably not
quickly.
something I
He's
should
got a
be doing in
very
the first place.
calm, composed, cool head on his shoulders, and as we see,
One
he's
more
just
crack
an
is just trying to see if I can do it on
So that's the thing, he's still
on
got to
Edge.
fill out Shifter, and there's still a bit of work to go,
If
but he's
it
not going to
works
be
on
overawed
Edge.
by playing AFL
to
footy. The
Tom
way that he
Barrass.
plays, he's really
I think he's
calm,
that type
composed.
of player with more leg speed, which is actually frightening. So he gave us nightmares. I'm sure you remember his father, Peter Dean, at
Did you
the
turn off
Blues.
graphics acceleration? I haven't turned anything off, but this isn't the same laptop as I did for the last time.
Carlton have
What the
matched
hell?
West Coast.
Oh, I haven't clicked live. I'm
Great
like, what?
defensive
Carlton getting
craft
another bloody
Shifter.
kick?
Well, I think we can report that Peter Dean has successfully exited the
Right, we're gonna
stage,
try again.
which is better than what he did in 1995 when he won the premiership, and very famously went for a bit of a spill here. Oh,
This is what you remember about Peter Dean.
Turn off graphics acceleration.
a bit more subdued
Is
tonight.
this OBS to
Ben Dixon,
turn that
you've
off?
got Harry alongside you. How's he feeling?
He's feeling all right. Pete's still struggling with
How,
his leg
how do
from
I
falling
turn that
off
off
the
on
stage,
this
but
laptop?
Harry, your old man was an unbelievable player and premiership player at Carlton.
didn't
It's
work
big shoes
on,
to fill to go
on-
to Carlton, but tell us the excitement. That's one of the best celebrations we've seen there with your teammates.
Yeah, I don't know really what to say, but you know, it's
He
pretty
might
good
be
for the
onto
boys.
something though.
They're
It might
selling
actually
pretty ready,
work
so, yeah.
on the browser.
Pete, I'll come to you because you're pretty emotional. The boys got you in a headlock too.
How do I do that though?
If they did that when you played, you would have snotted them.
They're the boys I coach. This year won a flag up at Levy, so yeah, they're very excitable, very testosterone-filled a bunch
What,
of fellas. So good bunch
What
of
did the
fellas.
Blues have to give up though?
What a special moment, Harry, to be
How many
presented the
points?
jumper by your father.
I think it's like
yeah,
20.
it's pretty lucky to get it from your dad, but yeah,
300?
it doesn't come along.
System
yeah.
settings in the browser.
We ring the coaches and we say, give us some attributes.
know
They
I'm
see you
not
got
gonna
white
get
line
this
fever. Is
to
that
work.
true?
Yes, it comes everywhere. Get it from mum mainly, not dad.
What about the 35? Have
I'll
you worn
try.
it your whole career coming through your
System
juniors?
settings in the browser.
No, I've had some numbers through my journey.
Settings.
Wore 35 at the local club, which was pretty special. But no, I wore 15 this year through Bushies in
Should
Big
probably
Country.
show my screen so you guys
Pete,
can
I'll come
help.
to you. You're actually emotional, and you say you should be. To get
I
us
just
some
want to know
drafts,
how I
it's
got it
pretty
working
special.
last
Tell
year
us about
with no
your
issues.
boy and
Night
what he
Might-
can do on a footy
or
field.
Night Myth. I didn't think it was going to work this time round though. How did KO work last year?
Too much
Like,
about that sort of stuff.
still, I
Just let
still
the
would like
actions
to know.
prove, but he's a better version of me, I suppose. Taller,
I'm on the settings. What did you say? System settings in browser.
He's quicker.
System.
He's a left footer, so he's got more skill. and
Use
yeah, he's a
graphics
better person as
acceleration.
well.
Oh, you reckon turn it off?
Well, mate, you got a bit to live up to.
All right.
Tell us about the tail.
All right, I'm going to close it and try to see if that works. Maybe
Carlton, or they just on the scarf for the look?
Two uncles here, a lot of
If I get,
Essendon here, but
a
hopefully
strike,
I can change
I
them
could,
to Carlton. But
regret
yeah,
this
Uncle Stephen as well. He's Essendon hiding, but yeah,
No,
hopefully I
doesn't
can
work.
change them to Carlton.
Tried turning that setting
Enjoy
on
the journey,
or off,
Harry.
and it hasn't worked
Following
still.
father's footsteps, had a sensational career, so good luck on it.
No, thank you.
Harry Dean, Carlton royalty. And what beautiful words from his dad. I think that is the
I
most
think I'm just going to
special thing about a night like tonight.
stop
seeing
worrying
the
about
raw
this. I
emotion
wouldn't
of
mind just
families
paying
who,
more attention to
you know,
actually
they're the ones at
what I'm
training, they're the
supposed to be
ones
watching,
sitting by them when
and
they're
the
injured
graphics
and
are like
can't
getting
play, trying to balance their schoolwork and commitments
affected
outside
because of it, because I'm worrying too
football
much
when
about
they're
showing
here
the
on
screen,
this
so
really magical
I'll just leave it. I'll put the other one up
It's just
instead.
such a proud,
I don't know what
thing
more
for a family to
you want me to do,
experience.
considering.
And Peter was so modest, wasn't he?
Tried
He
like 4
always
different
was a
options.
modest man, but a great player. Dual premiership player, of course. And
Holy
nearly
address
250 games. You need to be good to do that. And yeah, he's imparted his knowledge. He's coached for a long time too. He coached at coach league level as well.
Leak anything, did I?
Still at that.
With pick 4.
Acts of kindness have long-term profound impacts. Thanks to Coleridge, we are surprising a young Hawthorn fan with an inner sanctum match day VIP experience at the Hawthorn Football Club game today.
Or in the 2025 Telstra AFL
All right,
draft, the
Tyler,
West Coast Eagles have selected Cooper Duff-Tytler from the Calder Cannons. And just as we predicted, Duffma has come about.
Yeah, Duffma.
I think this is still good.
Duffma is
You might
here.
not get the
Duffma has
interview, but you
landed,
still get
and
the
it's over to
highlights, you
Duffma to
get all
get
of
the
that.
Eagles
I
up
think
and
it's still
firing.
perfect.
And in time they will. I mean, it'll be a good combination. I think they're excited about playing with each other as well at AFL
Perfect
level and seeing
alternative.
how they can complement each other's strengths. Yeah, this academy game, he really stood up against some VFL opponents, and some of his movement here, like that one, is sublime for a player his size. So, yeah, excelled across this season.
That's going to be the best we're going to do, all right?
And Cooper Duff-Tyler.
Oh, don't worry, I'll
Cooper
turn it down.
heads
Shouldn't have been that loud.
Play a bit of footy next year at Riley, just playing.
All right, let's just.
Third tall, second tall, pinch hitting.
Why is it gone now?
Changes have helped their capacity to take a guy early like this because the jumping aspect of his ruck work is a big part of his role, and also having no sub means he can play on the bench.
And I found it interesting earlier.
Great
today,
talent
I
coming
asked
through in the
Will
next
for
year.
our show, if he
You
could
never know.
name his
It's
funnest player or his favourite
predicted to
player
be one of the
Liverpool,
weaker
or
draft
he
classes.
did
Why
pick
is that not?
Cooper Duff-Tyler. Maybe that was a bit strategic, knowing they were going to wind up at the West Coast Eagles together, but clearly they've wanted to play with each other for quite some time. And West Coast just needed talent.
What the
with
fuck?
their first 2 picks, and I think
It's
they've got
just,
two
it's
of those
gone
players
now.
in the draft pool now.
And I was watching
Oh, I've got to have it on the screen.
25 videos that are on
All right, all right, all right.
AFL.au, and fascinating to find out too that Cooper Duff-Tyler's grandparents are Sri Lankan, so he's got some Sri Lankan
grandparents.
as well, which is super interesting.
I did not know that.
Chat to him a little bit later on in our show. So right now it is Richmond that is on the clock. As we know, we've got the double selections.
It has been an absolutely scuffed start to this stream, and I've lost that other graphic that I had as well.
Because they've been holding their cards very close to their chest.
Yeah, which they're absolutely allowed to. And I think this is the call whether they pick.
I'm not going to mention you, mate.
Bid and then pick, or do they bid, pick, or do they bid, pick? These
There we
are the
go.
options that they've got to decide through. And I think there's a good chance
I've got to
that
update the draft board. I've completely forgot about that, and it's completely screwed. So we've already seen 2 bids, and because of that, they're sliding down, and we're going to see another 2 bids pretty quickly. So Richmond, let's see if this is going to be another bid. Yeah, it's going to be another bid. So this is supposed to be Richmond, but they're going to probably get pick 6 here, so I'm going to have to like completely rejig this. Fuck. All right. Blue and West Coast.
He is a guy who's very exciting, and if he was eligible in the
Last year certainly felt a lot smoother.
they absolutely would, because they look.
And I know there are a lot of bid matches in the first round in the last year's draft as well, so I don't know how I counted that.
We are lucky enough now to be joined by the #1 draft pick in 2020.
Oh, they've got an interview on the AFL website.
Well, or worm, should I say. Congratulations. How does it feel right now?
Should have prepared beforehand. No, I did prepare. Like, you're acting like I just rolled on and didn't do any work. I've been spending all afternoon.
I'm very happy.
I didn't know it was going to be like that this time round. Sometimes it changes every year, mate. I'd like to see you
your jumper, I believe, from
try to set up a stream. It's not easy.
Harley Reid.
I'm still confused as to how the draft bidding. I'm not the right man either. Like in terms of, it's just all of the points. So Gold Coast getting all these like draft picks just so they've got the points because they're gonna match quite a couple of bids. They've already done Zeke Ewell, and I believe they've got another one a little bit lower down that they're going to be trying to match later on as well. I know Brisbane have they have Patterson. Oh no, sorry, they have Annabelle.
Shortly after we had you,
they have Annabelle coming up soon as well.
Did they give you an inkling this afternoon?
The plays are so much worse.
Yeah, they did. I had to. You questioned me about it at Gettable. I was like, nah, there's nothing.
All right, here we go. Updated.
Nah, had a meeting there. It was really good.
I know you love
So bid pending.
Links, Willem, but how nice was it sharing your moment with
My first time watching the draft trade this year, never really got into it. I haven't been as massive as a lot of other people have been. Even this year, like literally, as far as I'm aware, today was the only day I started actually trying to put a bit of a inside and research into the plays. So I'm not too informed this year, but I'm still just watching it for the fun of it and doing a bit of a watch along. If you guys have questions, I'll try my best to answer. As I said before, I've got some information jotted down, but not heaps. I didn't bother with a mock draft or anything like that. Sorry. The only reason it says Sam Lawler is because it reset. That was from last year.
Already gave it to him.
Thank you for picking up on my
we'll see
error.
Incredible.
Ross says it's honestly ruining my night. Well, you could always just click the stream off and then it shouldn't ruin your night.
Pleased for you. So go and enjoy the moment, and we cannot wait to see you in a West Coast jumper on field in 2026.
Thanks, Eve. Thanks for having me.
That is
Okay. Are they going to get the these interviews a little bit delayed? I don't mind that as long as I've got something to watch. Like I think it's pretty solid, especially since it's free. So if you guys are watching the stream and you want to watch the broadcast, if you don't have KO, just put it on the AFL website, and this is still pretty decent.
From the Gold Coast Academy, that is the player they've made.
What I can do actually, since
they're actually going to be successful, because I'm pretty sure if it is Dylan Patterson, they'll just snap him up, because even NRL clubs were trying to snap up Dylan Patterson, was such his talent and his speed.
Yeah, he could have been the next Reece Walsh. In the end, he's going to be the next Dylan Patterson.
Yeah, since the top four have been done, I'm going to get rid of them in the power rankings as well.
Have him off their halfback.
That's the whole point of having the power rankings on the screen. Do the players just come up with them, then people bid on them with points they get? If so, what's the point of the pick order?
In this year's
drafts, yeah, it used to not be so complicated, but I feel like every year, just all these academies, especially with the Queensland clubs, they just pretty much get access to whatever talent they want, and they pretty much get it whenever they want. So Brisbane are probably going to be good, Gold Coast are going to be good for ages. It is a bit unfair. A lot of people have complained about the system, and it'll be another, this is going to be another one here. Dylan Patterson is going to be pick 5 to Gold Coast. So Gold Coast have 2 picks in the top 5, and they're going to be they're going to be a powerhouse side, which is it's sort of unfair, to be honest.
Is that nickname catching on? He didn't like it.
He likes the glitch, as Caltumi reviewed yesterday. He prefers to be known as the glitch. This is my favourite bit of play right the way through the season. This set up the Allies win over Western Australia. He takes a player on, takes a couple of bounces. What I love about him is that he's big.
Let's have a look at some of his highlights.
He'll either run directly at you, knowing that you won't be able to tackle him.
He's got really good speed and agility from the looks of it. I've jotted down his versatility, his clean ball use, and he can play as a running wing / halfback. So I wonder, there'll be a bit of a fight for spots though for the Suns, so it'll be interesting to see how quickly he gets into the side. But
back there and brought into the football club across the last 12 months.
So they've done well, the Suns.
He's another one that could potentially play straight away as well if he's needed to. So, yeah, I can't wait to see him at AFL level, because he's one of my favourite players. I've been comparing him to Chris Yarran right the way through this draft process. Just that
apparently compared to Chris Yarran, they're saying.
The way that he runs, he sort of glides across the field, which I love.
Chris Yarran's more of a forward, though.
Right, we are going to be joined by Ezekiel and
I'm waiting on Annabelle and then leaving.
A Gold Coast Sun. We'll get to him in just a moment.
Assuming you're a Brisbane fan.
On the clock, they've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go after.
I keep forgetting I've got to update the draft board. So Essendon, I think they've been pushed down to pick
that
What
was
does
never
that
going
say
to
on
happen.
that?
So
8 and 9.
back on, Cal.
Another bid?
Well, do they bid or do they
bid
pick
again?
now? So this is the decision they'll have to face.
Has Cal Toomey got the
Bid on
first
Dan
5
Abbott, or
correct
do
as
they
what he
start picking
has? I
Sam
think.
Cumming, Sullivan Roby, Sam Grill, Xavier Taylor. They're the names that have been in their mix and in their decision-making process. So, yeah, that's a real watch. The other watch as well is that there's some real late mail around Latrell Pickett being an earlier pick than we might have even expected.
Oh,
so
wow.
we wait to see in a few selections.
Toomey's
Well,
5. I feel like Toomey's going to now, like...
Murmurs has continued.
That's literally the
Let's see what
first thing I
happens
looked
at
up when I
Sandville.
wanted to
Sandville
sort of
comes
get a
in the
read
next
on
couple of
what was
picks.
going to
That
happen.
might
Just his
shake out to
Phantom
be
draft.
that they don't
He seems to get everything
maybe,
right.
But if they pick someone else,
He's
and
just so
Sandville gets
knowledgeable in the
through, then
field. He
maybe
just
Latrell,
knows
becomes
so
an
much.
option even more
He's
so
got
for
so many
Melbourne.
links
Maybe they
to
just
plays
put it
and
together.
managers and
Some
shit.
drama still to come here on AFL.com.au. But right now, while Richmond decide what they are doing, we're going to cross out to Zeke Yuland, who is officially...
Yeah, so they've got like a delay in the interviews. And now interviewing Zeke Yuland, but like 3 picks late. It's sort of shit.
You were going to be a Gold Coast Sun after tonight, but now that it's happened...
Next time I do this, I'm going to try to somehow get KO working or not even show the screen.
It just doesn't feel real. Even though, yeah, I had sort of a bit of knowledge of what's going to happen.
Where are Richmond's picks?
Hasn't sunk in, and yeah, I think it'll be
They're
great
dropping.
celebrating with family.
I've got to update everything, but Richmond are still on the board. I assume if you don't already know, they've all these bids have just sort of dropped them in the draft order. So they're not going to get. They're going to get 6. They're probably going to drop down to 7. I'm going to try to speed the process of these updated graphics so you can sort of see them a bit quicker.
He's just said to enjoy it and take it for what
But
it is.
yeah, Richmond, I'm guessing Daniel Annable will get bidded on again.
I know
Another
roughly
bid.
what position
So it'll be
draft
3 in the
he's
top
going,
6.
so just to
4
absorb
actually in the
and
top
take for what it
6.
is, and, he's been really
That's
good to my
fucked.
guidance and support this year, so I'm really grateful for him.
I'm going to time you out the sports sphere, to be honest. You're making no sense. Alright, I repeat that. Sarah's going to time you out, or Sports Nut.
Just one of the most amazing players, and I can't wait to play alongside.
And Freer for life, you're on the brink of it as well.
Straight past me, but that's what I'm excited.
Why does Cal Toomey piss you off? I feel like there's probably very few people that have Cal Toomey as someone that they don't like. I've got quite a lot of respect for him as a journalist. He normally gets things right. Someone I can rely on. Actually, whilst we're at it, we can just update it so you guys can see when Richmond and Essendon are at. It isn't going to be fully accurate, but if I can do it all now, then I've got it ready for when I need it.
Everyone wants to be out in the track in their draft year and prove what they're capable of, but had a lot of hindsight benefits. I was able to work on my athletic development with Matt Taylor, my S&C, and got to do some coaching as well with the midfield group at the Suns Academy. So I got to develop my game in other areas, and I think I'll be better off for that in the future. And of course, you're working as a paralegal and you're studying law and commerce.
Tom Morris is miles worse. Isn't he now working for Channel 7? Still shocks me how he still has a job in the media, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, well, you might want to work on Zeke, congratulations again. Go and enjoy this moment with your family and friends, and we can't wait to see you playing for the Gold Coast Suns next year.
Thanks a lot,
We
guys.
definitely didn't need them in the chat. 100% we didn't.
Joining us here on Telstra AFL Draft Night Live.
What do they do? Yes, they
that
prevent
a
people
bid
from
was made by
commenting,
the Richmond Football
continuing to
Club
comment.
on Dan
They've
Annable,
just been annoying.
From the Brisbane Lions, and
I
they
don't
have
even know
taken no time to match
what they're
that bid.
trying to say
Now,
or what they're trying to tell me,
some
but it's just
clubs actually
annoying.
had Dan Annable rated as the best
Daniel
player in
Annable.
this year's draft pool.
Yeah, plenty.
Yeah, there were actually people saying that he could have been picked as number 1 or 2. So it is just sort of fucked how I kind of screwed that. I should have had Brisbane 6, but it is just fucked how Brisbane are just getting guns every year. They're never going to be bad. They're not going to be bad for another 5 years.
Ready to go.
Or at least another 5 years.
Academy, of course, in recent seasons. Ran well at the combine, 620 over the 2.
So I'll get that updated.
So, yeah, I love
It's
the
all
way he
manual
plays.
work
I
here.
think he's a star, and probably would have got so much more attention as a prospect had he been in the open pool. We all knew from a long way out that he's headed to the Lions, but I mean, the rich get
So
richer.
what are his strengths? I haven't written down his strengths. That's my bad. I know he's a ready to play, ball-winning midfielder. That's all I know. Where are all your Saints picks? We've traded our picks away this year, so we don't have a pick in the first round. But we could trade up, but still just for the second round. So that's why I haven't really given much of a shit about the draft, more because of the Saints. If the Saints were involved, I'd be like, looking at all the players that we could be a chance to get. but I haven't really been too
played for South Australia across this year's
involved
Is it Sam Grill, the
compared to last year. Last year we had 2 picks in the top 10.
Roby, the bolter, of course, the bolter story of 2025. And then there's Xavier Taylor, the halfback flanker. So they've been right in their mix.
Because they have rights to select him and match bids due to him being an academy player. That's just, they get the right to do that. Brisbane, Gold Coast, anyone else really, anyone that's in like the academy or father-son. And it's normally not too difficult to match the bid, even if it is a higher up in the draft. In the last 5 years, I reckon there's been at least one player in the top 5 that has been that hasn't been in the genuine draft order. It's sort of been matched. Or a father-son. Who did Geelong want?
We never know what's actually going on.
You have to be confident.
I think Geelong are looking at a key forward, but I don't know too much down the track with Geelong. We'll figure out when we get to a Geelong.
And want the player, but not be sure if they are going to match or not. So you do have to. Maybe it's a little bit different right at the top here.
Night Myth is so clueless. I'm not any different, to be honest. I'm not much different. I'm still learning myself, so don't give him shit. He's trying to learn how it works, which is fair enough. Not everyone should know this. Wasn't it Melbourne that originally tried drafting Nick Dacos? Melbourne? I don't think any team bothered trying to draft. Oh, it could have been North. I don't remember. It was a few years ago. All right, Richmond have their first selection. I'm going to go... I think it'll be Cumming and Sullivan Roby. That's my prediction for Richmond. Pretty standard selection. Sorry, I've got to update this as well on the draft board.
Seeing the changes implemented this year and the effect of that, it's getting harder for clubs to match multiple picks. Next year it's going to be even more hard. So next year is the big test. The AFL is looking to make changes again heading into next season. So that's one of the real challenges, I think. For
no, it wasn't have hate or nothing. I tried to explain. You tried explaining.
And we're seeing the work that Gold Coast has had to do.
It's still confusing to navigate,
to get enough picks to be able to match these guys.
especially if you're like new to it all.
So they've lost Ben Ainsworth, they've lost Sam Flanders, there's Braden Fiorini. They've had to pick up picks through.
Well, you probably did a better job of explaining it than I did. Oh shit.
As easy as that, exactly right. All right, we're about to say the pick is in. This is a big pick.
Fascinated by this.
I know everyone is
I think, to be honest with you, no one knows from this point onwards, because we kind of knew that these teams were going to get these players top 6, but this is where it becomes a bit more unknown. So this is a little bit exciting. Probably more to some than others. I'm too
Richmond fan deals as well. So
pumped, but it should be alright.
And you're right, because Richmond did drive to Mildura, or fly. They flew on the Rex flight, wasn't it? I want to drive there.
Absolutely.
So who knows what is going to happen, but I do believe that the pick is
Who is Cooper Duff Tyler?
I
mean, who is he?
Football Club has selected
Sam Cumming
from North Adelaide.
I think this was known because I did pick it. And I think it was also Cal Toomey that picked it, so he's gotten the first 7. You know what? I'm not even going to make up any of my own decisions. I'm just going to go for whatever the fuck he's going with. So he reckons Roby to Richmond, who is he was a player that exploded in the second half of the season in the TAC Cup, or whatever it's called now. Pretty much got himself in the top 10 calculations. I think he kicked like 4 goals in the granny or whatever. He might be he probably might be next up. That'll be probably what happens, honestly. But I'll update it for pick 7. So Sam Cumming, Cal Toomey yeah, he's trustworthy and reliable. He's not the sort of journalist to do it just for the clicks and for the headline. How many did he get right? Do you remember how many he got right last year in his Phantom draft?
As Cal mentioned, I've spoken to a lot of clubs over the last 48 hours.
And we get him actually speaking on this broadcast as well, so it's a win-win.
Him getting through to 7 and him getting through to Richmond at this pick is a massive win for the Tigers, and he's got that ability to potentially start his career forward. He was named in the under-18s.
Shit, I've actually lost the graphic.
He's got that potential to go into attack, but it's through the midfield where I love him. Strong, tough, physical.
Quite, all right.
Plays with that hard edge. I love what he's been
I must have closed it. It's okay.
And Richmond Premiership player Bashar.
Did anyone end up watching Chat with Cardi?
stage. So
or
what a
listening
thrill
to it.
for
It
Sam
only
Curran
just
becomes a Tiger, and as we
dropped,
said
so I
earlier,
don't
Tigers
expect there
have
to be
one
many, but I have it up,
selection tonight,
and
so
it is
they are
up for
back
you guys
on
that
the clock with 3 minutes
want
to
to
go.
listen.
Well, do they go here for the speed? This is
Mate, it's genuinely going too quickly, this shit. I'm only just finishing putting the Sam Cummings graphic up, and it's going to go straight to pick 8.
The Nick Vlauston replacement, in long-term replacement in Xavier Taylor. Sully Roby as the midfield bolter as well has to be a big chance. So, yeah, we wait to see which way they go, but I think we're about to hear from Cooper Duff-Tyler.
We are. We've heard from
Another
Dursa, so
interview.
it's now time
I
to
got
hear
Fulton
from
thinking your last one was live.
Duffma, so Cooper
Oh, the
Duff-Tyler
chat with Cardi. They're never live, those.
us
If you're talking about that one, yeah, they're never live. They're on Premiere. They're kind of the only thing I do Premieres for anymore. As a North supporter, this draft is a bit more boring than past. So, yeah. It looks like you guys, when you get your selections, which could be still in this first round, unless like the trade gets made. But at the moment, you haven't got a selection there. But you've just been selecting midfielders, so it'd be interesting to see if you go a different route. You probably would. What you did the bidding? I don't know, but I can look it up for you.
What was your reaction once it finally came through? You've got a good
Got a few more people jumping in the stream. Probably not going to be as many as last year because I think there's more competition for the draft this year.
What was the reaction as your name was called?
What year did the...
Yeah, I mean, obviously...
Someone might know.
You had kind of alluded to West Coast picking me there, so... yeah, the nerves started to kick in the longer the clock ticked down, and then when the pick came in, yeah, when my name was read out, it was just pure relief.
North got pick 11.
Yeah, it was kind of just my dream coming true in one moment, so... Don't even know how to explain.
I'm not sure what you're on about, mate.
Me,
Okay, 2015.
So cool.
That's when it began for the 2015 draft.
Did you have any idea at all the Eagles were going to take you?
Nah, just through Cal.
It says it's designed to ensure clubs pay closer to market value for leading draftees. A new bidding system underwent several tweaks. I don't remember what it was like before then. The AFL settled on a maximum discount of 20% for academy and father-son players in the first round. Cooper Duff-Tyler's got Sri Lankan parents. He doesn't look anything remotely Sri Lankan.
I don't know how to cook any Sri Lankan dishes. I might have to get Nan and Pa to teach me tomorrow.
I don't even care about the draft night, says Sarah. Yeah, well, let's be honest, it's not surprising from the comments you've been making. But it's good to see you on anyways, just to have a chat. I guess it's not as serious as some of the other streamers that are really worrying about who they're selecting. I'm only watching this hopefully to just relax, because let's be honest, St Kilda haven't got any involvement, and it's a little bit more, not stressful, but it's a little bit more like investing my time into it when the Saints are involved. Yeah, put it in, Hotkey, feel free. Thoughts on new finals playing? Not that great of a move to be doing it now, but it'll be good for the next few years, I hope. Yeah, last year's draft was a lot more interesting in my opinion. I don't like all these top teams getting these top players. It's sort of like drags it down a little bit, to be honest. I'm assuming we're going to get to 27 to 28 picks, but we could almost even be at more. Who fucking knows? We're already going to be at least at 26, 27 this first round.
I can't remember which I ranked there, but...
Why are you covering the boring draft? I guess because last year I covered it and it was enjoyable. It probably hasn't been something I've been covering at all this year, but there's nothing else relevant to cover on live streams, Hotkey. And people wanted me to do it, and I still wanted to at least get a bit of familiar with what's going on in the AFL world. There's my question. Well, there's my answer to your question.
Will it be Xavier Taylor who is the defender, or could it be someone like that?
I haven't watched the last few videos on Tanner Bruin. All I know is that he's stripped from his penalties and he's free to... Well, he's free from the charges. The charges were dropped.
Yes, it's a domino effect, isn't it?
Now I want him to just freaking hurry up. Hurry up and move on.
So the pick is in, and with pick
you need just key, not just a key oh, they've gone for Grill. That's the first player that they screwed up. Kaltumi. He was ranked 10. A lot of people thought he was going to slide. But there you go. They've picked him up, and he's that speedy player that they would love.
He played some games for Richmond's VFL side.
They've got another Sam.
Would have been pivotal in their decision-making process to go with Sam Grill, a midfielder, hybrid midfielder, runs a sub 6-minute 2-kilometre time trial, a sub 2.9.
Yeah, you can see the highlights on the screen. They should put the highlights on for a little bit longer, man. I want to see his highlights.
You know what, Riley? The strategy that we spoke about.
Did you mention Harry's Peter Dean's son? I knew he was Peter Dean's son. Don't know if I mentioned it specifically.
It was all a bit of nothing, but it was worth a try.
It certainly was. So, what I love about this is Cal.
But I wasn't around when he was playing in the AFL, though. I don't remember much about him or his career.
Last year, Sam Lawler and Josh Smiley with their first couple of picks. They got some key forwards, 3 key forwards. They got their defender in Luke Traynor last year as well, and then Taj Holland.
How many games did he play for the Blues?
They can get a bit of speed.
It would have had to have been
Clearly they had
a bit.
desire to get speed because they had the bid on Dill Patterson, who's one of the quickest in this year's draft class. So clearly they wanted that. There was a need for speed there for Richmond. They bring in Sam Grill with this pick, and what does it mean for Essendon now? Do they go with the
What K-pop shit goat?
Combination. They were both at the football club last week.
Yeah, so I knew he was around that time, 95. I wasn't watching footy back then.
I think he'll ride in that mix as well for this pick, for these 2 picks.
Lucas says Roby to the Bombers. Well, fair enough. If he was not going to be taken by the Tigers, I know the Bombers really were wanting him, so...
From the draft event, and that is Dylan Patterson.
But why the fuck have you said that before I've been able to see it? Am I behind here?
It's been a different build-up for you because you probably knew you were going to end up a son, but...
Let me just refresh it.
Acts of kindness have
Mate, I don't want to see this ad for the 4th time.
We are surprising a young
It's funny because I actually know this guy personally that's in the ad.
Match day VIP experience at the Hawthorn Football Club game today.
Alright, I assume that...
It's like nice finally hearing your name called out.
Why is it so behind?
And they're sort of a bit more nervous, but...
Maybe just hoping that he's now getting selected at the Bombers. Oh, okay. I thought it was confirmed, but now that I look at the chat, you're probably just pretty excited about the fact that he's still on the board. That makes more sense, to be honest. I, for whatever reason, had it in my mind that it was confirmed picked and that was behind on the stream. Pick's not in yet. That's good to know. Isn't the draft really biased to non-Victorian teams?
We've just been
I don't know if it's biased.
Through the academy, especially now.
But like the Queensland academies are just farming talent.
Just like drive each other to be better.
Like they've been farming talent over the last 5 years.
Manzeek were very in
particular.
Close, like obviously in this draft, but like it just pushed me a little bit harder.
So Bombers have picked 9 and 10, not just 9. So, if you've just joined us. I'm gonna have to like constantly update the draft order.
Do you reckon anyone's going to be able to catch you in the AFL either?
Oh, yeah, we'll see.
Can I ask as well, Kel, he dubbed you the Rocket. You didn't like
what,
that,
the F is his haircut?
Are we getting the glitch to catch on?
Yeah, that's way better. Get that Rocket out of here, bro.
I guess the new wave of like these youngsters that think those haircuts actually look good. It doesn't look great.
Given to you by Kaltumi, and I love it. More of that, please. So the glitch it is.
They're not going to get to that far in though. It's me. And did you seriously need to put that in? We had a good conversation flowing until then.
So proud of your journey as well.
Their song choice is so bad.
You've had different options throughout.
Yeah, it's always like pop music, like popular in the modern day, I guess.
Has turned out beautifully for you.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Like, obviously
the fact that not every team has a pick in the top 25.
It's just a roller coaster, and obviously
it's not that hard to.
Yeah, like I can't really
complain.
Like now I'm in
wrap your head around though. Like
prime and I'm just loving
every year, teams trade away their
I
picks for
couldn't
future
put
selections
myself
or
anywhere
draft
else,
or like plays and all that. So
well, we're so excited
it's never going to be the order. It's never going to be the same order as the ladder ever.
Thank you so much for joining us. Go and enjoy the moment. And
most of these draft picks are actually not the original hands that the other clubs had at the start.
Gold Coast son joining Zeke Yulan. Geez, that academy is very, very nice when it comes to producing some talent for the Gold Coast Suns. Now, The pick is in for Essendon. Their first pick of the 2025
All right, do they get Roby?
Telstra AFL draft comes in at pick 9.
They do also need a midfielder.
We'll wait and see what they might do. Obviously,
have to pick.
with Richmond taking Sam Cumming and then Sam
But they
Grill,
could pick
which
Taylor.
wasn't a total surprise, but it has.
You've got to go
had
for at
that
least one
domino
midfielder,
flow-on
right?
effect.
Yeah, I think Sully Roby's been right in the Bombers' thinking.
Who's still in the selection panel?
About that off the top. They're looking at the same players. And also Xavier Taylor's another, Dyson Sharp's another.
Sharp is there.
There is the pick.
Wow.
The Bombers have drafted Sullivan, Roby.
They've got Roby. Who said he wanted Roby?
They get their big-bodied midfielder that they haven't been able to get for a long period.
It was
of
Luca.
time.
Took a while actually.
In the second half of this season,
it was like a few minutes ago. I thought they already announced his selection, but I was just not delayed at all.
Up being a midfield beast, kicked 4 goals in the grand final.
Yeah, so he was like a bit of
he was outstanding basically
a riser
for the last 3 months
in
of
his
the year. Played the end of the year with the broken
like his latest junior year. So this year, like he wasn't really in contention until he just had a really good second half of the season. So he's a
couple of other of his
tough, mobile, big, strong, marking key forward. That's a way to sort of describe him as a player, and he also can play in the midfield as well. So there you go. He's also a midfielder. All right, so I'm going to put in Sullivan, Roby.
For Essendon to attack this draft, if they've got 3.
You just hope they nail these picks, the Bombers, because the Bombers have not been able to nail their recent drafts at all.
When was the last draft story you saw like this, where if you had have asked me 3 months ago where Sully Roby would have gone in the draft, I would have said, who's Sully Roby? But his last 3 months of the season have been absolutely incredible. Missed the Vic Metro squad, obviously. Was able to play across half forward, kick 4 goals in the Coates League.
He's a top 9. He's a top 10 pick, and he was unheard of 3 months ago.
His has been remarkable.
Pretty solid.
A lot can be contributed to attributed, I should say, to his dad, who is in the AFP. But his dad kept emailing and calling the Dandenong Stingrays and the Rangers to see, can you give my son an opportunity after he was overlooked, and finally a phone call came from the Eastern Rangers.
Wonder who Crom are going to pick up.
Premiership team. He kicks 4 goals.
Probably going to pick up Mitch Marsh.
Premiership in the Coates Talent League, and then he's living out a dream because he backs for Essendon.
Yeah, well, that's right. He does actually. He does, and we had him on the show a little while ago.
Yeah, he'd be happy then. He's not going to the Tigers then if he's an Essendon fan. Although I wouldn't be happy going to the Essendon at all. I don't even know why you'd be supporting the Bombers right now.
To the bone. I mean, he's missed out in his junior career as well. He's missed out on selection. He's missed out in squad selection. At the Dandenong Stingrays.
Did you just say Mitch? Yeah, there's a player in this draft class who's got the same name as him, Mitch Marsh.
What's their options after?
When I found that, I thought it was sort of funny as well.
Big-bodied midfielder. Is it a Xavier Taylor? Is it a Dyson Sharp, who's another big-bodied midfielder that's had such a fantastic campaign?
But that's who everyone's linking him to, so it's just my
Pickett was there earlier this week.
Prediction.
Yeah, he was.
Oh shit! I put the wrong. I put the wrong team.
I mean, Xavier Taylor as a halfback. Risk taker would be a different element to their mix. They need midfielders. They've got one. Do they go for the backup with Dyson Sharp, or do they see if he can get through to their 3rd pick, which I think is.
Who do I think Geelong are going to get? We're at Geelong now. I don't even know what selection they're at.
So I think
they've probably dropped to like 21, 22. I guess we'll see who's available at that stage, but they're probably going to go forward, I'm guessing.
Because they let
or maybe
like
a mid.
Who was a high draft pick, go
during
the
lie.
off-season as well.
It's starting to fade away a little bit, my draft knowledge for this year. It's not a lot.
Yes, they have been for quite some time looking for that partner, as we said, to
Pickers in for the Bombers.
Had some guys go through there. Sam Durham's obviously had a great campaign.
So Dyson Sharp, Xavier Taylor,
miss most of 2026. You reported
they're the next two in line.
The setback he had after a slip at training. So I don't think that factors too much into their decision. You obviously draft for the long term, not for the short term.
So after the Bombers pick, then the D's have the next two. So I'll update that as well.
There's a club in Melbourne that's going to be sweating on exactly what they do. And is this where the cat and mouse stuff comes in? Because Melbourne's got the next 2 picks, but then Essendon's after that. So do they try and find a way of potentially getting one through? Do they think, who's Melbourne least likely to take? Can we get that player through to what is now pick 13 in the draft?
Melbourne are going to get Farrow, I reckon.
Is there a player that we can potentially slide past Melbourne's and take someone different?
And they might get a small forward. There are a few small forwards available, actually.
Because I think if Xavier Taylor got
but I don't know if the Melbourne fans are watching this stream, and if there are, I think they'd have more of an idea of what they might be targeting than I do.
A big couple of picks coming up, but as I say, I think Taylor, Sharp, Farrow, right in that mix.
Yep.
All right, we look to see what Essendon does. But just to recap, if you are just joining us for the first time on Telstra AFL Draft Night Live, welcome. You're a little bit late. The draft has started, but that's okay. We won't hold it against you. We're just running through the top 10
hold it
at
against
the
me,
moment.
please.
Pick number 1. It was West Coast who had that selection, and they selected
Please hold it against me.
Dersma, who is just about a player who can play anywhere across the ground, but he wants
Didn't
to
someone
play
say
in the
Roby was a
midfield, and
bully?
We can't wait to see what he might be able to do at the Eagles. Joining him at the Eagles,
He probably
the
plays
pick
like a
number 4
bully,
is Cooper
given his
Duff-Tyler,
attributes.
a
I don't know,
ruck
mate.
at
I don't know him
201
personally.
centimetres.
I
So
don't know any of
Duff-Tyler
these
goes ahead.
players personally.
The Gold Coast Suns have got a pair of academy players with them in Zeke Yulin and Dylan Patterson. They matched the bids there, and Carlton has father-son selection Harry Dean joining them.
Jacob
with
Farrow.
pick number 3, which
There
is
we go.
great. And with the pick number 10, the Essendon Football Club has selected
So
Jacob Farrow.
they went the
from
WA
West
talent.
Perth Football
I
Club.
thought he was
And
going to
he's
go to
someone
Melbourne.
who's shot into, I guess, top 10 calculations, and that beautiful
I actually
left
did think
foot
they were
out
going to
of
get Sharp
defence
or
is
Taylor.
something that will be very nice at the Bombers.
Yeah, well, they don't have too many of those, and he's got that nice blend of half.
I don't think anyone. Oh, someone said Jacob Farrow.
Option for them. He's a pretty exciting player, 187 centimetres.
Let's have a look at his highlights if they're going to show anything more than a couple of handballs. Good ball use.
Through the carnival.
He's the best WA talent as well. So there you go, best WA talent going to the Bombers.
Really comfortable at that level too. So I think that's the mix. You look at the blends, don't you? You have 3 top 10 picks, or what they'll be, 3 top 10 picks. You get the bull, midfield bull in Sully Roby. You get.
If you just joined us, the draft order is not really accurate, but I'll be updating it in real time throughout the night, so don't worry if you've joined and you think that, I don't know, as a Carlton fan or a Hawthorn fan, you've missed out on a selection. Nothing's happened, don't worry.
Entire Sundays watching footy. He reckons he watches 6 or 7 games a week of AFL footy. We had him on the show earlier today. He can name every jumper number in the AFL. He's got every jumper.
He tripped up on one.
He's got every jumper.
Lloyd Meeks, number 7. I was yelling at the screen, going at 17.
That's fantastic, and it's fascinating to see now what Melbourne does, because they would have loved to envisage a world
Cam Mooney was a bully on the field.
Xavier Taylor would have fallen through to them at pick 11. It's a chance. It's a possibility.
Mooney once actually on the on a trip to Launceston. He was sitting in front of me on a really small
There's a lot going on, so
plane.
Melbourne's going to have a big choice now.
Oh, they'll be taking Xavier Taylor.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I think this.
Yeah, I actually couldn't find many of the play comparisons
How many situations like that would
at
have
all.
The forecasting.
But Hayden Young is actually a good one.
Many of them would have had Xavier Taylor
You know,
available.
left footer.
Right, we now have
Just a really
Brisbane Lion
good ball
joining
user.
us on Telstra AFL Draft Night Live. It's a very warm welcome to Dan Annable. Dan, congratulations.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, we're absolutely stoked for you. I mean, you obviously.
Did Farrow
knew this
go
was
for
coming
anyone
tonight.
since he
You've
had
had
every
such a
Guernsey?
dominant under-18s season. What did you put that down
Yeah,
to?
he probably still had a team.
Oh, just the work behind the scenes, really. A lot of
But there
craft,
were a
lot of
couple of plays, and
recovery sessions,
I don't know if it was last year. It was the year before. Was it?
Being able to be consistent on the field, so.
Was it
yeah,
McKercher or was it
just hard work.
Sullivan? One of those plays
And it's all paid off.
didn't
What
have a
was it
team
like the
heading
moment
into
your
like
name was
getting
officially
drafted.
called out,
He
even
wasn't.
though you
He
knew it
wasn't
was
a fan
coming
of
and
anyone.
being able to celebrate that with family and friends tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the best moment of
Who'll
my
be
life,
drafted
really.
next?
Called out and
I still
embraced
know a few
my
names
friends and family
left,
like
so
that.
I might have to cross out the
it's
ones that
a
have already been
moment
drafted, so I don't
Dan, you've been ready
look
to
at it
play
again.
AFL for the best
I've
part
got
of
like a
your
little
life, so
spreadsheet. It's
we
nothing
had Steve
too
Benoit on
major.
our show earlier this week, and he said he probably would have got picked for their finals campaign. How keen are you to finally get stuck into it?
But I
Yeah,
actually
super
might.
excited. I mean,
might say
all
that
all you want everyone to do is
these
kids
could
play
go
AFL football, and
Lockie
now,
Doverson.
yeah, I get the chance to do that, so
'Cause
yeah, super excited and yeah, can't wait.
They
Which premiership player you
might
kicking
need
out of the
another small
midfield?
forward with Cozzy moving into the
Oh,
midfield more.
that.
Farrow probably liked every single
If you
team.
had to pick one, no, we wouldn't put you on the spot like that.
You don't
who
have to
are you
like
looking
every
forward
team to
learning
own a
off full
Guernsey
time?
for every
Like, I know
team.
you've been around and seen these guys enough, and
I
they all
only own
rave
Guernseys
about
for
what
St
they've
Kilda,
seen from
really,
you
but
too, but who's the
I'd
guy that you're going to sit
if
next
I had the
to
money,
and
I'd
just
probably get every team.
throw
Like
a
a
million
nice cool
questions out
kick
over
from every
summer?
team.
Yeah, definitely that senior midfield group, so the likes of Dunkley and Neil and even Lashcroft now.
Or it could just be
most
into
are
footy a
elite
lot.
players and,
But it's rare to have
can't
like
wait to
players,
learn off them,
especially
see
at that
how they
age,
go about it and really get in depth
already
with,
having a Guernsey for every
their
club.
development and how I can
Must
do
just
the
be a
same as
collector.
what they did as well. So, yeah.
And how much have you had to do with Chris Fagan?
No one
Because
said he
when you
supported every.
talk to Brisbane
He didn't
players,
support a
they
team.
absolutely
Was that what they
adore him.
said?
He seems like such a caring coach as well. Have you had much to do with Chris?
Do you guys want me to turn up the audio on the back? I've got no idea how loud it is, but it might need to be turned up a bit. If you want me to, just let me know.
I'm really excited to work closer with him and the other coaches there. So yeah.
Well, Dan,
Move
we're
from
looking
the
forward to seeing which
UK.
Premiership midfielder you do
There you
kick
go.
out of the engine room. But in the meantime, please enjoy the rest of tonight. It's such a thrill to see you get drafted. So well done.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one.
Dan,
What's the draft board of it? Have we got Melbourne?
And he liked your Hannibal nickname too.
Eventually.
Eventually, it grew on him like mould. I don't know.
Pick 10. So we got the first 10 picks.
For Melbourne, their
confirmed
pick
now.
is in.
Confident, Cal?
Just waiting for confirmation
100%
now.
confident on this. I mean, I think that given the time they've spent on Xavier Taylor in recent times and their list and everything, I think their interest level, I think it will be Xavier Taylor.
Okay, well, we'll have a look because I believe that pick is about to be announced on stage.
Yep, Xavier
shortly.
Taylor.
And you
Melbourne.
are correct, Cal. Ding, ding, ding. 10 points.
Of course,
for you
he's
because
correct.
with pick number 11, the Melbourne Football Club has selected Xavier Taylor from the Eastern Rangers, and well, he was best on ground in their premiership.
He was the guy that had like
25
15
touches,
marks
15
in a game.
across half back, and he has a little bit of a swagger, doesn't he, Riley?
He certainly does. I've loved what he's been able to achieve.
Who would I say this guy reminds me of?
With the tats, we bringing the tats to the D.
Spider tat.
They would love this result. We said that
Like a
before,
tall,
they wouldn't have forecast many situations.
great in the air, great
The
interceptor.
fact that he is fantastic. He's been able to intercept. We love that. So he loses the one-on-one contest, but then he gets.
What's a good player comparison player in the chat?
He's a Nick Floston clone.
They're saying Nick
A lot
Floston.
of people had him a lot earlier in this draft pool, so I'm sure Melbourne would be absolutely delighted that he got here. It's going to be a fascinating next pick. This is the end of the 2x2 nature of the draft now, Melbourne picking here. It is going to be interesting because there's been a lot of links to Cam Nan, a lot of links to Latrell Pickett. I don't know exactly which way they're going to go, but do they get that mix? Do they try and bolster up their midfield with the Dyson Sharp? Is a Lockie Doveston another one that might be in their sights? I'm not exactly sure which way this pick goes.
I don't think they're going to draft a midfielder here, the
Who's
Ds.
Essendon hoping they take, and who's Essendon hoping slides through as well, 13?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Cam Nan would be the favourite here, but as you say, the Latrell Pickett
Josh
have
Waddle.
not gone away. They've
Wait,
only
what? Josh
strengthened,
Waddle?
to be honest. But I think that was probably on
Yeah,
the
actually, that's a
advisor
good-
that
that's a
Xavier
good
Taylor and a couple of those
comparison.
other guys were gone. Like the Grill pick has changed.
He's got the height.
Proceedings of the whole draft, even though it came to light over the past sort of 24 hours that looked like a real possibility.
All right,
But
so
the
Melbourne
reality
in
is that
next,
the
pick
Bombers got
12.
Their couple, then Melbourne snapped up Taylor. And
No
now I
one
think
said
they
anything
have
about
that
the
decision to
audio,
make.
so I'm just
I would
hoping
be
it's
surprised if they were
good.
confident that Xavier Taylor was going to get there. You couldn't have been confident because you just didn't know with Richmond's picks whether they were going to go that way or in the end the Bombers. So yeah, this is now an open option for them. I think Cameron Nan has always been sort of the starting point at the Demons, and then a few picks after that. But yeah, we wait to see.
I can't remember. Does the ad have
so
draft? So does the draft have ad breaks?
Then we move back to Essendon.
I think
because
so.
If you are just joining us for the
I
first
just can't
time,
see him
there
on
were
this.
a flurry of trades off the
All
top.
right, I'll
when the
turn it
draft
up
opened, and West
a
Coast
little
were
bit.
on the clock for the number 1 pick. And one of those trades that came through nearly
Hawthorn are
immediately
now-
was Carlton trading
What are
out.
Hawthorn
what
now?
was
They're
pick
like
9 then to Essendon. They've also traded.
Oh,
pick
okay.
11
They haven't
to
shown on the
North
screen.
Melbourne.
North have
Obviously,
pick
those
15.
shuffled down the
Why didn't they
little
show
bit
me
after
that?
all of the bids that we've had at the top end of the draft, but quite a few trades to start, Cal.
Yeah, and it hasn't made
Okay.
any sense, have they?
No.
But I
Looks
think
like there's
Adelaide
likes
now
of Shannon
will be a
Humphries
big
and
watch.
Mr.
So I know
Saints fan.
Adelaide's on
Okay.
the phone. So now
Yeah,
think
it's
about
not
who
the
that
time
would
for
be.
those
Dyson
jokes. They're
Sharp.
not really
So they're
very
at the pick,
relevant
which
anymore,
is
are
their
they?
pick now. What's the actual number of Adelaide's pick? It's number 19. They're at 12. Can they get up enough spots to see if they can buy that pick off
You'd have
one
to
of
get
these
in
clubs?
ahead of Essendon, wouldn't you?
There'd been discussions with the Hawks in the lead up to tonight. If Dyson Sharp's there, what's it going to cost? Is a future 2 going to be enough? I don't think it will be enough, but they don't want to give up a future
So what?
one,
You've got
but
2
Adelaide
picks to
certainly
hope
is,
that they
on
don't
the
pick
phone
Sharp
right
here,
now.
Sportsnut.
They want to keep a local.
I don't
in
think
Adelaide.
the Days will
Interesting
pick Sharp,
to see what happens.
but I think the
Dyson
Bombers
Sharp,
might.
A huge talent there, the midfielder, the Lark
I think the
medalist.
Bombers
as well.
probably
Can I say
will.
Melbourne? So this will be their 6th first-round pick in the last 3 years. The 4 over the last couple.
I do it every day, long blizz, of course. It's
in
my daily
2023,
routine in the morning.
and
Just
then
watch
Harvey
a couple
Langford
of his
and Xavier Lindsay
highlights.
last
And
year. All 4 of those guys have been able to come in and impact.
do all that.
Virtually straight away the following season. It wouldn't stun me. We spoke to Jason Taylor earlier this week. He said it wasn't necessarily a plan for the Demons. He said it was more circumstance, but it wouldn't stun me if.
I think there must be an ad break or something because we've had a bit of a wait here for the pick 12.
Will come straight into Stephen King's side.
Surely
going
the other
into
D's would have
2026. The other thing
had a rough
note
idea
with
by
Melbourne
now.
is as they continue to deliberate. They're into their final 60 seconds on the clock here. But the other interesting thing to note with Melbourne is they lost a lot of midfield depth. So Clayton Oliver and Christian Petrarca clearly go out of the side. Yes, they brought in Jack Steele, but they also chased Marcus Windhager pretty strongly. I think they were in the box seat for Marcus Windhager if he had have left St Kilda. They were right in the mix for Sam Flanders right up until the hours before he ended up choosing to go to St Kilda and get a trade there. So whether or not midfield depth
I'm looking at what key forwards are
a little bit here.
Next.
Not exactly sure. Chase Taylor did say to us that they've
sort
got
of
a
ranking
philosophy
pool
of trading for needs and drafting for talent. So we will see
Archie
exactly what they
Ludwig.
do here. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting call from Melbourne.
There actually aren't
Where
heaps
do you
of key
see
forwards
Melbourne's list at the moment?
that
Do
are
you
that
feel
highly
like they're
rated
going to
this
be
year.
able to regenerate and push again for finals next year under a new coach?
Picky's in, so we'll wait and see what they do. I think it's going to take a couple of years for them to
That's
come
a good
back
point,
into contention,
TOGF.
but this has been a quiet plan for the D's for quite
Even
some
though they've
time
brought in
to
my
rebuild
check,
on the
it's
run
only a
little bit.
short term.
Okay,
sort
so
of
some info
plan.
in as well. Adelaide is trying to trade
I think
up
just
to the
in general
Bombers
their
pick
forward
right now.
line is
They're in
bit
discussions
of
now. They're
shambles.
trying to do that. Whether the Bombers budge or not is still to be determined. But let's wait and see if they do and can be swayed. I think
like
they've
Adelaide
tried
are making a
several
play
different
here.
options, but the discussions are ongoing now to see if they can get into that pick.
Would they be looking for the same player in Dyson Sharp, do you think?
Well, that's the bid, isn't it? I mean, I think Adelaide.
Right,
would be
Adelaide
looking at
want Dyson Sharp.
So the pick is in.
wow.
Pick
Oh,
number
okay,
12,
they've
the
got
Melbourne Football Club has
Cozzy
selected
Pickett's cousin.
Latrell Pickett from
Actually, I
Glenelg.
can't believe
The
I
small
didn't
forward
name
who is
him.
also
I
the
said
cousin
Doverton, but he makes
of
more sense.
Cozzy Pickett, he kicked 4
Family
goals
link
on
up.
debut.
So they
in
go the other
Sample
small forward.
senior
So there's
team, Cal.
Yeah, he
Sharp
did.
that's
So
still in
just
the
take us
the
back
mix.
A little bit of a history
Sports
lesson,
nut.
Nat, 2019 draft, Melbourne with pick 12.
But I still don't think he's going to go to the other Hawks.
Pick 12,
Especially if Adelaide make a move
2025,
here.
it's Latrell Pickett, his
Wow.
cousin. Yeah, kicked 32 goals this year, playing for Glenelg's reserve side, 4 in the grand
Mate, if he can be
final
half the
performance
player
as
that
well.
Cozzy is, I think
he's
they'll be
an
happy with that
excitement
selection.
machine, and they grabbed the speedster there at that selection.
It's an incredible rise for him. I remember his name was put on the radar probably halfway through the year when he was.
But I wasn't
had just come up to
like I
Glenelg
wasn't
to
really
play some
expecting him
reserves
to
where
be
he kicked a whole heap of
selected
goals. He didn't actually play a
this
lot
high
of league footy
from
at
what I've
sample
been
level
reading.
for Glenelg right the way
I
through
guess
the season.
if
But
it
he is
wasn't
talented.
Melbourne
He
getting
can kick
him,
goals from
probably
virtually
would have
anywhere in the
slid
field.
down a little bit.
And also, he was a very late
More in the
attendee to the
rankings.
draft, so he attended tonight.
Oh, he was there, was he?
He's attended tonight.
Okay.
Interesting, just like me thinking out loud, but obviously there's so much.
Bailey
interest
Fritsch was
in
okay when he
other
played the
clubs
Saints,
trying to
so he
lure
was-
Cozzy Pickett away from Melbourne.
I
know
wouldn't
he
say
did sign a
generational
deal,
fall off, but they
could
do need him
having
back
someone like Latrell
to
there
his-
just kind of
close to
shore
his,
him up. He's got family there now,
form in
and just a little bit
21,
of security and
22.
safety
He was
in that regard.
He was all Australian
absolutely.
quality in those years.
He's earned this opportunity from
Just not so much
missing out
anymore,
on
just
the
can't
draft
find
a
it.
couple of years ago. Worked his way through that.
I just realised we have
has put on
272 on the
performances
chat. That's
after
not too bad,
performance
actually.
for Glenelg's side, so credit to him. And Melbourne go with a small forward. Now Cam Nan's on the board.
Yeah.
Adelaide could look at him as well.
Yes.
He could be a
Oscar
contender
Taylor.
for them if they do get up the ball. But I think if they can do this deal with Essendon, or
I don't
Essendon
know. I've got
budge,
to look down the
taking their
draft
time out, I think it's
rankings.
more unlikely.
He
But
might
if Essendon does
he
budge
might
and
slide.
trades back, then maybe
He's probably going to slide
it'd
to
be
like the
Dyson Sharp
20s.
to the Crows. Well, I think it would be Dyson.
Do you think Essendon should keep this pick, Riley?
Why
I
and
think
how do
Dyson
Gold
Sharp's
Coast have
compliment
picks 2 and
for
5?
Jacob Farrow and Sally Roby, who
Because
they
of
picked with
the
their
players
first
that
two
they've
selections,
selected
another
through the
big-bodied
Gold Coast
midfielder.
Academy.
Dyson Sharp for me was one of my favourite
So they
players in
matched
this
the
draft pool
early
this year,
bids.
given his work on the inside, he knew that. But then he's
A lot of
been able to
people aren't
get
happy with the
goals,
fact
he's
that
been able
that's
to
a
get on the
thing.
outside and have that transition running to his game. So he's one of my
it's
favourites
a thing in the
in
league.
this year's draft class. It does make it interesting though, and there's a couple of interesting names on the board.
Have you
now
actually had a
because
little bit of a
you said
look
there's
into
Flurry's
like
next pick, so you got Essendon,
anyone that
Hawthorn,
Adelaide
North
could be looking
Melbourne,
at,
GWS.
Sarah, for
There's
like your
players
own
in their mix
sake?
now they might not have thought of that would have been there. Cam Nan.
To
being
me, it
one of
sounds
them,
like you
Dyson
just
Sharp
take
being
anyone
another
that
one.
gets picked.
How far does Lachie Doverston fall? I know West Coast have
So,
a lot of interest in him.
They're saying
there
Adelaide
will
could
be
try to
number 13
trade up
pick, which
to
is
get
currently sliding out to number 17.
Sharp,
so
but
that
it looks
short
like
maybe
it's not
hoping he
happening
gets
right now unless
that
there's
far. So
a
there's
move that
couple of
gets
interesting
made. But
names on the board now,
we'll
given there's
find
few
out.
surprises that have been mixed into this top 13, 14
I don't have any
picks.
idea.
Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating next part of the draft. I
Yeah,
think we're about to see
actually, now that I think about it, are there any Adelaide Crows
for some
content
academy
creators that
type
actually do
type
any
players.
content
So,
like
yeah,
draft stuff
It's a really
or anything
interesting
like
stage
that?
of the draft now.
Well, you
There
mentioned
aren't any
Essendon.
Crows
We do have the
content
newest
credits.
Bomber
I feel like
with
every
us
team
now.
has one
It is
now.
Sullivan, Roby. Sullivan, thank you
Maybe
so
not
much
GWS
for
and
joining
Gold
us.
Coast.
G'day guys, thank you.
Oh, it is so great to see you in that Essendon Guernsey because we know that you're a massive Bombers fan. Just talk us through the moment that your name was read out. What did you think?
Yeah, obviously weren't too surprised. There were plenty of cameras around me beforehand, so I got a good idea. But yeah, obviously surreal to be at a childhood club. Obviously the family are massive supporters.
Good point though. Like they knew they were going to get
really
drafted pretty early.
And your story is one that is made up of grit, determination and resilience, because you were overlooked. Your dad was emailing and calling the Rangers and the Stingrays trying to get you an opportunity, and you've just persisted through it all. What has this whole process taught you about yourself?
Yeah, it's shown me and my family as well.
Unlucky, bro. You're playing for the Bombers. You're probably going to have a shit career, to be honest.
When there's roadblocks in the way, we just hurdle around them and push on through to our goals. So,
who is Willem Dersma?
Yeah, I've proven a lot to myself.
I mean, who is Willem?
I think I'm a lot.
They're acting like I know these people personally. Just have it.
Hey, Sully,
2
congratulations,
minutes of
mate.
research
Very well deserved,
into the
and
player,
good
but
to see you as a top 10
obviously
pick.
related to
Did
Xavier
they give you
and
any
Zane.
indication when you
If you want to know a little bit about the player, I guess maybe it was a bad way of answering that question. He's kind of like,
really know, but
how would I describe him?
Yeah,
as
obviously
a player?
just watched training and had a good tour, and
It reminds me a bit like Harley Reid a little bit, like
it'd be an awesome
sort of play anywhere
at this awesome club. So I'm really
more of a
keen, like I
midfielder, but
said.
can
Hey, you've just been
play in any
joined at the
position,
Bombers
kick
by
goals
a
up
new
forward.
teammate as well.
He's got
Essendon has selected
endurance, he's got
Dyson
speed.
Sharp at pick number
He's just been
13,
widely
so
regarded as the best
another
player.
midfielder there. I'm sure you've watched him pretty closely over the last couple of
Stone,
years. That must
Jack
be good
Stone.
to get another midfield help into the team.
What happened to the Hawks pick?
Yeah,
It's
I was
just
speaking to those
sliding.
boys
They're next
downstairs
up though, the
to
Hawks.
Dyson and
I'll
to
whack
Farrow
that
as
in
well. They're obviously
Oh,
actually.
great boys, so yeah, I couldn't be
Bombers
more happy
have
to be
gotten
joining with
the
them. It's
man
awesome.
in Dyson
Hey,
Sharp.
who was
There
your
you
favourite
go.
player again as a Bomber?
Why have they
growing
not
up?
mentioned that?
Joe Watson.
Cut the interview.
Yep. Has he reached out yet, or have you got any strain? Have you checked your phone yet to see if anyone has?
Joe reached out to me while I was in the gym a couple of days ago, so that was awesome. So yeah, it was really good. Sent that over to my brothers, and they were loving it. Yeah, real good.
Love that, and we love you,
I
Jim.
reckon the
Hey,
Bombers have
just
done
before
quite
we let you
well.
go, very quickly.
Three picks in the top
enjoy
13, they all
song?
look like guns.
Did you enjoy the song? It was based on you.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, no, it was a very funny song. My mum was cracking up at it. I think she even decided to comment. I made her delete that pretty quick, but yeah, she was loving it.
What was she going to comment, Sally? What was she commenting?
I think she did the laughing and the clapping emoji. So,
That's harmless. Come on, Sully. You've got to let your mum have something.
She's all right. Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, well done, boys.
Well, you go
They
and
say he's the
enjoy
best brother and
tonight.
Xavier isn't
What
an
a
awful
whirlwind
player.
it is. You're at the club
Yeah.
now that you grew up supporting.
I wonder if
Go and
Zane's
enjoy
going to
it.
get
Cannot wait to
find
see
the
you in 2026.
form that he was sort of
Awesome.
aspired
Thanks so much,
to
guys.
become.
Appreciate it.
Still
Sullivan
early
Rody
days.
there. What a story. He has grown 17 centimetres in 2 years as well. I wish I could
17
grow
centimetres in 2
centimetres
years.
overall. There you go.
So he's what,
we've got
192?
Dyson Sharp, who is now a Bomber.
So he
That
was- he was
pick
like
13 and
shorter than
in
me.
the moments before that, you were talking about the fact that
Couple years
Adelaide
before
was
he got
trying to get
selected.
in there. Maybe they had Dyson Sharp on their
I'm not
radar
reading
as
that
well,
donation
but the
message
boy
because I don't
from
understand
South
what you're talking
Australia
about,
is
but
now
I'll
a
take the
Bomber.
dono.
Yeah, I mean, they put multiple offers to the Bombers over that 5 minutes or
$2 is
so
going
to get
into-
to get him, but the Bombers grabbed their man. He's another Bombers supporter,
much, really.
and he
Can't get
joins
much
the
for
club
$2
that he
anymore
wanted to get
this day and
to.
age.
Look, he'll play straight away. And Essendon, I think it was pretty obvious in the lead into the draft, Riley, that they needed to add to their midfield.
Yes.
And these two, I think, are the two that they really, really wanted.
Dyson
as well
Sharp's
in
the
group.
player
So,
that
their mix now
I think he
is
captained.
halfback, mid,
Like he was a
and
captain
two
for
ready to
SA,
go
so
midfield options.
he's
So
going to provide a lot of
I think they'd be
leadership
rough
to the
if they've not
Bombers. So
been
I think a
able to
lot of
They
clubs
certainly
like that
will
would
be.
have
What I love is the two bigger bodies
wanted
as
him
well. So
because he could
Sullivan
slot
Roby's
right
got
in straight
192
away.
centimetres. Dyson
That's what
Sharp's
they're
around
saying.
the same, but he's got that outside part of his game as well. Sully Roby's got the forward
Surely a
part
bit
of
of
his game. So they've
housekeeping.
got a
It just
nice
keeps
mix in those two
sliding, like-
players. And then Jacob Farrow, that beautiful left foot kick.
I
Well, think
haven't
he sees himself potentially developing.
given
as a taller
myself like
midfielder
3 minutes to
in
just
the
fix
future as well.
everything. I've
I
just been
love
fixing
what
as it goes,
Essendon's
but
been able to
I
produce.
think I probably should fix
Fascinated by
everything
what
now.
Hawthorn's going to do here
So-
as well. With under 2 minutes left on the clock, what direction do they go
I'll
in?
try.
Is it
I'll try
a
to do it
Lockie
now, actually.
Doverston? Is it a Cam Nan? Do they potentially place a bid on a Harry Cole? There's been a
Just
few
these
links to
bids
that
have fucked it all
over the
over.
last couple of weeks. It's going to be an interesting decision.
I guess if I had the
Oscar
time again, I
Taylor,
would have had
another
a
they've
second
been
one
linked to
made,
in that time. So
allowing
I'm
for
not
the other bids.
entirely sure which way Hawthorn goes here.
They've got some interest in Cam Nan as well. Doverston toured there last week, met with the coach, spent a bit of time out there. Oscar Taylor's done that recently as well. Josh Lindsay, too. Aiden Schubert's another, as a tall prospect, probably one
Win
of
a
the ones in
flag
the
medal
mix there as well.
Later.
So they're probably the names, I think, in
One
in
of the
that
later
group.
teams.
Well, we've got some hope.
But they're at least going to be
Before we
involved.
know who they pick. How much would you love to see?
They'll probably
Lockie
pick another
Doverston
gun.
and Nick Watson in
like
the same
they
group?
did,
I would.
Murphy.
Absolutely.
That would be trouble. level. That's what that would
And
be.
it's something they would have been weighing up for sure. I mean, I think we'll see the Wiz in the midfield a little bit more at stages next year. And
I'm
and
fixing
he
the
did a bit of
draft
that
board up.
throughout this season as well.
Needed his fitness to improve a
Yeah,
At least a little bit.
and Lockie Doverston kicked 53 goals this year, so he'll be able to do that at a number of different games next year in terms of producing that.
So it looks like the Crows,
he knows where the goals are naturally.
So
and his
it's
performances
dropping
in the back half
heaps.
of the season included some time up the ground as well. So yeah, he's a very good player, and if they don't take him, I think North Melbourne
early
will
first
be
round
on that
picks
pick
don't
as well
even
to
mean
see
as much
if they
anymore.
can grab him, because they had Latrell Pickett
It's
in
a
there.
casual draft
mix
fit, it's not
as
that
well.
deep.
I wonder as well if Latrell
What is a
Pickett
casual
goes,
draft
if
fit?
a couple of other things go.
It's not a video, if you're talking about the stream.
So the Giants
have
have traded up, so that was a potential to be on the card. Let's have a look
Trade.
at the details of this deal. So the Giants have traded pick 16 and a future
So
second
the Giants
round
have
pick.
14
So
now.
they've
Hawthorn have gone down
traded
to 16.
A future second round pick to get in 2 picks ahead.
Yeah.
Let's see who this is for.
Is it for a Cam Nairn?
They're gonna want a player who Hawthorn were going to select.
Is that him? Is Lockie Doverston their man? Could they potentially place a bid on a Harry Kyle?
That's right. They would have done this thinking or being worried about the pick in between, obviously, won't they?
Hold up. I'm
so
gonna
the North
also
Melbourne pick with Doverston in there. Is it for
update the bottom.
Lindsay? Is he a type that they've gone to? Clearly, they must be pretty close to what they're doing there.
Yeah. We will wait and see.
Okay, this is interesting. I'm liking this little twists and turns that are coming our way on the 2025 Telstra
Right, I've updated
AFL
it now.
draft. You never know what you're going to get.
Do you know who I think it could be for? I wouldn't be shocked if it's for Oscar Taylor as well, who's had some links to the Giants right the way through this process.
Wow.
So a bid is pending.
It's a bid pending. So,
do you reckon this is Harry Kyle?
Yeah, do you think it's the crosstown rivals?
I don't really know who else it would be. I think he's the one. I mean, John Murray's the
Why
other,
do
but
they bother then if Harry Kyle's
Is this some Harry
a Sydney
Rouston
Swans
payback
Academy player?
from a couple of years ago?
I think the Swans might have been more prepared and ready for it than the Giants were in that reverse circumstance, but potentially. I mean,
I don't understand the move, to be honest.
I don't know. The Elephants never forget?
No, they never forget.
Okay, well, recruiters...
Goldfish
elephants
always forget.
Okay.
Yeah, it's another bid here. It's a Swans Academy player.
Yeah, I think recruiters
Harry
definitely
Kyle.
never forget when that happens. But like I said, if you make a bid at this point, you've got to be prepared
Medium
to accept the
defender.
player.
Yes.
I think
Can
the
play
Swans,
mid.
if it's Harry Kyle here, which has been linked for some time, would be matching this one, though. Yeah.
He's drawn links right the way through since he emerged, probably halfway through this season, playing for Sydney's
I'm not
Academy for the
sure.
Allies,
I'm not sure if the Giants
to
thought they were
Finn
going to get him,
Callahan,
because
who,
it
of
looks
course,
like
is
Swans will just
a
match
Giants
that.
gun. He's got the sidestep, he's got the lateral movement, he's got all of that as part of his game, having previously played rugby league. So he's had that element to his game, and the Giants, we know.
Hopefully it goes well for you,
Football
Nick.
Club, so,
Hopefully
there's
slots
been
right in
some
next year.
similarities there.
Him
Try
and
and add
Jagger
another
Smith
year.
can get some games.
And it's a local.
Cheers for
Like,
the
it's
33
also a
months,
local
though. That's
option, isn't it? So you're weighing up
3
like
years,
local
just
guys
about.
who,
That's fucking heaps. It's
in
huge.
a market that's, you know, they haven't had their own academy players at this top end of the
So I've got to
draft for some
change it
time,
again.
So,
I've got to
here's
give
another one that comes
GWS.
through.
Okay, so if this is matched, if it is,
Actually, no, I'm just going to leave
Harry
it because
Kyle,
it
who
might
we
be
think
Sydney.
It
Yeah.
might be, and Sydney matched, and yes, they have matched it. So
Yep.
it was Harry Kyle that
Harry
the Giants
Kyle.
made a bid on. So with pick number 14,
Just screws it
the
all up
Sydney
again.
Swans have
Another
matched that
bid.
bid. So Harry Kyle from their academy is now officially a Swan. So that means the
Where was
Giants
he?
are
He
back
was
on
rated
the clock. The Giants, of course,
30th,
shuffling up a couple of spots
31st.
because
So we actually,
Hawthorn originally
there's a bit
had
of a
that
bolter
pick
there.
14, but the Giants have snuck in there because they clearly
Another-
have someone in mind. And
yeah,
we'll wait
another,
and
like,
see who
North
that's going to be in the next
Eastern
4
Academy
and
player.
a half minutes or so as we take a look at Harry Kyle.
He came from nowhere, didn't he, this year?
What do you know where to the Crows?
188
The
centimetres.
Crows are still the same spot as where they always were. They're just sliding. They're just going to keep sliding.
Well, it really could be.
I actually couldn't even tell you where they are right now.
It is. It very much
It's
is.
that
It is, and
confusing.
I think that's kind of the appeal for
The Giants are going to be in
Harry Kyle as
again.
well. Like, there's growth to come. We're only seeing him scratch.
There
the
aren't
surface
many
here.
other players that
The
they're going to
Swans
go
are
for that
prepared
if they wanted to.
for this bid.
Pick
The
a
challenge
player
will
that
be if
would
they
have
get
been matched
another
as a
bid
bid.
after this pretty shortly for Lockie
So
Carmichael.
it's gotta be
most
just a genuine
likely,
selection
and what they
now.
can do on that front.
I said before, I'm pretty sure this would be for Oscar Taylor now, the Giants, and that's why they would have done the trade. He's had a little bit of interest from North Melbourne.
Okay.
So it's
between,
gone
So they wanted to jump up
GWS,
and make sure they
then
got
it's
yeah, maybe
North,
Hawthorn
then it's
think
Hawthorn, then it's Sydney.
whoever they were going to
the
take
next
here
three.
will survive the North Melbourne selection in between. They might have had some confirmation of that, or maybe they've had a few names on their board. But we'll see who exactly the Giants take with this pick. Surely they don't bid again. Let's hope not.
Oh gosh, I hope
but yeah,
not.
I
We've
think
had a lot of bids tonight. It's
Oscar
just
Taylor's had a lot of
Too
links
many
to
bids.
the Giants as well, right the way through the process. So we'll wait and see.
Way too many bids.
got a bit of flair as well. And he got that call up to the combine quite late too, didn't he?
Well, and he was the man there. Yeah, he was a star at the combine. 2.82 seconds over 20 metres and second in the agility. So yeah, he was the late call up that was deserved, and like a couple of the late call ups to the draft, has earned it.
And he certainly has, because at pick 15, the DWS
Who do they
Giants
get?
have selected Oscar Taylor.
Taylor.
There, so we are correct, Riley.
I think
in
he was
saying that was going to
a
be
guess
the outcome.
that they were predicting. They
a
got
really
right.
exciting player of half back. Like, he was a big part of the Eastern Rangers' success.
Everyone's saying what happened to the Crows.
Already to the Bombers.
Nothing. They're just falling down the order. I think
and
now
also Xavier Taylor go to the Demons.
I
Oscar
can't
Taylor
actually
now
remember where they
becomes
were
the third,
originally.
and he's got that dash and run. I think I said the other day, I don't think there's a more Giantsy player in the draft than Oscar Taylor, and we put him at the Phantom.
Couldn't tell you. Someone can put it in the chat.
And that's been the way clubs have viewed this one from some way out, it must be said. So they jumped up. They clearly had some worries that either North Melbourne was going to take him or someone else was going to pay for the Hawthorn pick.
Yeah.
So it's not just about beating North to him, because I don't...
It's beating other clubs.
Yeah, it's beating other clubs to the asset and the opportunity for the selection now. So North Melbourne's on the board. I think Lockie Doveston and Josh Lindsay will be right in this mix.
So where's he from Victoria?
So you got
I've got not much information on this guy, to be honest.
Josh Lindsay, and you got the small forward in Lockie Doveston. But North Melbourne, let's not forget, they traded up for this pick, so they've clearly got someone in mind.
Well, no, I think they did it with a bracket. I think they did it with a bracket of probably 3 or 4 guys, knowing that one of the 3 or 4 are going to be there. Blake Threadgold's another, if they go tall, Blake Threadgold, Aiden Schubert's probably the 2 talls, but Lockie Doveston for me it would be a good fit if they went that way.
You risk a lot, but is there a chance one of those talls is available to their second selection? I know there's a wide gap, but maybe they're thinking to themselves, do we go with a Lindsay or a Doveston here, knowing that one of the talls might slide through if things go a certain way in the draft? So maybe that's a consideration.
What is North's next selection after this one,
I think they need a bit of everything. North Melbourne. I think they've got talent on their list. They've had 12
Imagine they go another midfielder in
Clearly
North.
they need some key position support down back for Charlie Comburn and Will Dawson and Griffin Logue. Clearly they need some key forward support up front for around Nick Larkey. But they've built out their midfield quite nicely.
It's or maybe they'll go that
it's getting
small
more
forward.
mature. I like the way they've been able to do that. But they
Stream's
need
lagging a
stuff
bit.
around the ground. They need goal kickers up forward. They need difference makers down back. So, yeah, I don't think necessarily...
It looks good on my end, though. I think it's fixed.
This spot, maybe a bit later.
Best available talent.
Just take the best available talent. So it'll be interesting to see which way the Kangas go.
Oh, everyone's draft board looks very, very different. It's very subjective, isn't it, when it comes to some of these talented youngsters that are making their way through the AFL draft system at the moment.
And I think the other thing is Cam Nan's still on the board, and there was probably the expectation at this point leading into the draft that he would have been gone. So I haven't really sussed out the level of interest from North Melbourne in him, and maybe it's a surprise.
Is he in the room tonight?
Yep, he was. He was a later invitation, so he's in that group. So Nan, Doveston, Lindsay, do they make a bid on someone like a John Murray? I don't think that's likely.
We've got the key position players that might be in their sides.
Yeah, and also, does anyone try and come up now? Like, you never know. You could get another future second back for just sliding back 1 or 2 spots if someone's desperate. I do always laugh, like the fighting over future second round picks.
The fans will lose it if they go on mid.
It's like end of the earth stuff. And then on draft night, it's like, give us
They'll
a
probably,
second round
I don't know how
pick.
many the players are going to draft, but if they...
Well, we've got a
they
minute
might end
and
up going a
half
mid
left
later
for
on.
North Melbourne on the clock. We might just take a moment
Just like
to recap
for
what
a next
the top
best
10
available, but I really don't think they'll
like,
go on
and
mid here.
well, it started off with plenty of bids going around the place. Obviously, West
They've
Coast
got enough for them.
had that first pick, and they chose Willem
not all
Dersma
proven.
there. Then Zeke Yuland came in and officially became a Gold Coast son after the
Stream
Eagles
wasn't
placed
lagging
a
for
bid
you.
for
It,
him. The
well, it
Eagles
looks
then
like it
tried
just
to
went
bid
up again in
this
the
time on
spike,
father-son
the lag.
selection Harry Dean.
I'll
and
just
he
keep an eye out on that.
obviously, the Blues took no time in matching.
All right, here we
that
go.
one, so
This
he
is going to be an
became a
interesting
Blue.
one
Then
for
Cooper
North.
Duff Tytler, the ruckman, 201 centimetres, joined the West Coast Eagles.
My
We had
notes
Dylan
are a
Patterson,
bit
Dan
thin now, to be
Annabelle,
honest.
these
I
academy players
ran
from
out
the
of
Northern
time,
States
but that's
making their
okay.
way to their
It's all a
clubs. And then
surprise to me now.
This is where it got really interesting when it came to Richmond with Sam Cumming and Sam Grill at 7 and 8, which was super interesting. And the pick is now in with North Melbourne. So we're about to find out what they have done here. And then just finishing off, we had Sully Roby, obviously the draft bolter, and then Jacob Farrow joining the Essendon Football
I actually
Club.
think
so that
Roby's going to be
our
really
top
exciting
10 tonight here in the 2025 Telstra
From what I've
AFL
heard.
draft.
Come on.
Oh, we're all holding our breath to see what
Don't be a
North
bid.
Melbourne might do. So are the Roos fans. They're holding their breath for a couple of reasons, because also the AFLW team is playing in yet another preliminary final as they try to become the first ever W team to go back-to-back, which
Dragging this one on, I'll tell you
Saturday,
what.
Make sure you tune in to afl.com.au and the AFL Live app for all your AFLW news. But it is draft night, of course. And with pick
There you go.
16,
They want the small
North
forward.
Melbourne Football Club has selected Lockie Doverston, the forward that we were talking about from the Eastern Rangers, who has kicked 53 goals this year.
Yeah, the flying mullet, he can do this. he knows where the goals
Kinda
are.
like
There's
Nick
no
Watson
doubt
a
about
little
that.
bit.
I think his evolution as a player throughout this year has been really impressive. The sidestep's strong. He's got a natural knack for kicking
Reminds
goals.
me
He's
a
had that
bit of
throughout his
Nick
whole
Watson.
life. This one was on the buzzer.
With a second to go.
Yeah, with the small forward, which
Vic
I
Metro
think
in that
is
trial
fair.
game.
They probably
he
need
was
players
a consistent goal kicker for Vic
that can
Metro
just fill that
at
role.
the carnival. At the combine, he
Bruce.
produced the 4th quickest
Still
ever
think key targets
agility
are the
test result. So,
key position
and in
players
that
are
game at the grand final at
the
Icon Park, he was
stronger
outstanding,
priority for
particularly
them,
in the
but
second quarter and turning the game the Rangers' way.
So,
So North Melbourne, they've gone with some small forwards in recent drafts with back-end picks.
Hopefully
some
going to
later
pay off
trades
for
and
them.
some mid-season trades. This guy will come in and be their best small forward.
Yep.
So he'll be playing straight away next year. It's a position that they needed to get, and I love the fact they moved up the board to get him because he was one of the pack that was going to be available there, and they've identified a need and a target amongst the group, and he's got there. So, yeah, well played.
Yeah, you mentioned that. They've tried to recycle a few small
I
forwards.
knew they were in
Zach Banch was a mid-season
close to
pickup. Robert Hansen
the
Jr.
20-ish
was someone
mark.
who'd sort of been waiting for his chance for quite some
Wasn't
time.
quite
Jacob Constanti was almost an afterthought in that trade with Luke Parker. So they've tried to recycle. It hasn't necessarily worked for them, but as you said, Cal, he'll come in and be their starting small forward, their number one small forward from day one. I love this pick for the Kangas.
Bit of spark, bit of flair for them.
and it gets fans to games
Yes.
as well. He's the type of player that'll get
Bums
you
on
off your seat.
seats.
I love this from the North Melbourne Football Club. They need to spark in the forward line, and I'm sure guys like Nick Larkey and Cam Zerha will love it as well and love having him around.
They actually might be
providing that
okay,
spark
North
underneath.
Melbourne in the
And the
forward
great
line
news
if this
is
guy
Lockie
can do what Nick
Doverston
Watson did.
confirmed on Gettable Countdown today that
Curtis
the
as
mullet
well.
is staying.
Haven't
so
mentioned
we
Curtis
look forward
either.
to seeing that flying around the forward pocket for the Kangaroos.
I think he'll be a fan favourite pretty
Chances
quickly.
are D's going to have the
They'll
top
love the
25
Dove.
pick.
What's Dove got to do
They
with
will
it?
love the
I've
Dove,
got to
and now
find
Hawthorn's
what the
back
draft
on the
order
clock.
is.
So if you are just joining us for the first time,
Probably
welcome. We
zero.
are up to pick 17. Hawthorn did have this selection a little bit earlier. However, the
not
Giants jumped in and did a little trade. So Hawthorn has shuffled back slightly.
I don't know.
in
They're not
the
giving. They're
order
not
to
telling us
pick 17 now. So this is their first pick
what it's
of
looking
the
like
draft.
past
And
the next
who do you
few
think
picks,
they're sort
which is a
of
little bit
looking at
confusing.
now? We mentioned a few names in terms of tall forwards potentially, but
Cam Nance
looking at
still
this
there.
list, yeah,
Cam-
you're
Cam
right.
Nance.
Cam Nan is probably a talent that's still on there.
Yeah, he is, and also the Bulldogs will be sweating on this now as well because
Josh
Josh
Lindsay.
Lindsay's getting closer and
I
closer
love
to
him.
being available. Does Hawthorn grab him? Does some
Let's
other
go
club
look
like
at the
Geelong
power rankings.
potentially
What
who have
players
that
are
interest in trading up the board? So Geelong are
Still
back at
relatively
22.
high that
Can
haven't
they
been
slide up
selected
5
yet. Is it
spots?
gonna let
I think
me-
the Dogs would have to be wary about that potentially happening. And moving up the board to grab Josh Lindsay, that'd require a future pick being involved there. And Hawthorn could pick
So
up
the
another
Ruck
couple
and
of future
Schubert
picks
hasn't been
maybe.
selected
And we know
yet.
how busy they're going to want to be on the trade front next year.
Still the highest
Zach
player
Merritt,
left. I've
Bailey
probably got to
Humphrey,
update
Jack
the bottom
Bynes.
bit as
So
well.
if they could do that, maybe that's a possibility if Geelong was open to it. So you have to be aware of that. The other
Lindsay,
part, as you
actually.
say, Cam
Did I
Nan is
mention
there.
Lindsay?
So they go for a tall at either end of the ground. Schubert, Thread Gold is around that
No, I
range. They've
didn't.
shown interest in Harley Barker, who's
All
out
right,
with an
well, he's
ACL
still
for
a
most of like next
chance being
season, but
selected
a long-term
soon.
talent.
What time does this end?
A bit going
It'll
on, I dare say, in the
probably
Hawks
end
room.
in the
Just on
next
Dogs as well, we shouldn't
45
forget
minutes.
that they've already traded down as well. They
I
did
don't
that
want it to
during the
last
trade
too long,
period.
I
That was
won't
just
lie,
swap
but I don't
draft
think it'll be
picks
too
with
much
the
longer than
Giants.
the next
They've
40,
traded down
45.
already, and a trade
Trade.
is in, and West Coast is on the clock.
Oh my goodness.
What's with
So what could
Hawthorn
the
not
Eagles
getting
be
their
doing
pick
here?
in?
So there's that trade there. They've got a future second round.
is Hawthorn
into the
doing?
Hawthorn don't give a fuck, clearly.
Is
So
that a
let's-
future second round pick?
Let's
or
have
is
a
it
look at
year's
this
first
trade.
pick?
Hawthorn has traded pick 17 to
I
West
think
Coast,
West
for pick
Coast-
18 and a 2026 future second
Oh,
round pick.
actually,
so this is
who-
a big
who
call
would
from
West
the
Coast
Eagles.
get,
They
yeah?
traded out a future second round pick to move up that one spot.
One spot. Who could
Wow.
possibly be four, do you reckon?
It could be.
They've had the links to Jai Murray and Bob
No
Adams, all the two
WA
Gold Coast Academy players.
Players
Already
that I
got a
think are in
ruckman,
their
they've got
target
a
sources,
utility.
so I don't
Trade
know.
up to bid. It's possible. I mean, Lindsay, I think, would be in the mix
The Giants
as well. Yeah.
It's been a whole
Giants have traded
scuff
up on Harry Cole, so that's
draft
a
so
chance
far,
for them.
Sportsnut.
Lindsay, is he in the ranks signings for
It's
them.
confused me the hell out of me.
My phone is blowing up with Hawthorn supporters just texting in a flurry of what is going on.
Yeah, well, trade.
I can't answer you.
And a bid
people.
is pending.
Oh,
so
a bid is pending.
We wonder
This
if that's
getting interesting.
And that could be for
Fucking
either the
hell,
Gold
it's
Coast
another
Academy
bid.
talents in Jai Murray or Bo Ansell, who have both had links to West Coast right the way through this process.
And you had
probably
in
Bo
your
Adams
Phantom draft as well, Bo ending up at the West Coast Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, this, to be honest, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight if they match it or not. The Suns, if that gets that way.
I don't know if the Suns are going to be able to afford to match it.
This is where you have to be careful with who you bid on first.
Can you do a video of what clubs and the players you think they'll get in the trade?
You might bid on the one you don't want first to squeeze them for points.
I feel like you don't really know what you're trying to tell me there, because the trade period's already happened. It's a bit late for that.
You have to plan for the situation where Gold Coast potentially doesn't match a bid.
Look, I won't make a draft video unless it's on my second channel. I just don't think I'll have the time.
Traded up, trade a future second-round pick to get this selection in. It's a good deal for Hawthorn as well, because I'm sure they're thinking, well, another pick to stash in the 2026 draft pool for a whole host of players that they could potentially be after. So this is an interesting point in the draft. We didn't expect to see this many live trades on the night for the picks that
could be the
we've
third
never
or fourth.
Had this many live trades. I don't
live
reckon
trade
in one night.
Remember last
probably the fourth.
round.
So Hawthorn have edged their way back down
there's
the order.
There's day 2 or night 2, which will be tomorrow night, Sarah. But I'm still unsure if I'll go through with the stream. Because I'm gonna know very few names, so it's kind of almost not worth it.
For next year. Interesting. Big tactic being played by the Hawks. Now, I don't think you have to be.
They should make top 4, I reckon, Ellie.
Well, which one?
No, we don't.
Kel?
Yeah,
They should be aspiring to make the top 4.
Any of them.
Zach again?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a fair chance.
And which Zach, if so?
All right. I believe that we potentially might have a matched bid here. So we will wait and see. Okay, so
Suns
the
are
Gold
just
Coast
cleaning
Suns
up.
have matched a bid from the West Coast Eagles and selected with pick 17 Jai Murray from the Suns Academy. So
This first
relief,
round
I
is actually
think,
going to be the
for
longest
Jai
we've
and
ever seen. It's
probably
going to go to
some
like
of the others,
30
in that
picks.
Gold Coast Suns Academy, because there was no guarantee they were all going to end up at the Suns, but he's here, and a foot injury unfortunately ended his season, but he was terrific in the lead-up.
Well, he's medium defender, midfield option. He's a force when he's playing.
They don't need any more medium defenders.
Quietly keeping him under wraps to some degree, thinking, well, if he'd played, how high would he have actually gone? Missed most of the year with that injury, so missed the championships, and we thought maybe a little bit out of sight, out of mind.
I wouldn't say they're greedy, but if they can afford to
the Eagles do
match it, then they're going to do it.
Now,
Pick is in, so I assume that West Coast have finally
just pick a player, West
got
Coast.
a player.
I'd certainly hope so. So Hawthorn have done well here in the sense that they move back a selection and pick up a selection you probably think is going to be a top 25 pick next year, just to move back one spot in the draft, given it's West Coast's
very good
second rounder. So it's a very good trade for them.
Okay, another bid.
Pending. So
this is what we predicted.
For fuck's sake.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the double bid that we predicted a couple of days ago, and this will be the squeeze
I'm just maybe really clueless, but I don't know why we're getting so many of these.
I'm not sure if they match or not.
Yeah,
it's going to be
always loomed as being a tight one.
A matter of points here, and I think they're the best at it.
We'll find out if the Suns can afford this one.
And they did that flurry of trades early on to try and amass draft points. We'll wait and see here whether or not they have
This
enough.
is West Coast's 4th bid of the night, and we are only 17 picks in.
West bid Eagle.
4 bids for one team and 17
I like
picks.
That
has to be a record.
While this bid is pending, we're actually going to have a chat to Melbourne's national recruiting manager, Jason Taylor, now, and Jason's been good enough to join us. Welcome to you. Your first couple of picks in this year's draft, Jason, in Xavier Taylor and Latrell Pickett.
Hold up,
the
Chad.
Latrell Pickett one in particular. Just
quickly
tell us how that came about.
Update this one as well.
Oh, well, he was in our draft order, and we.
Why have they not
we felt
interviewed
that it was
Pickett?
A real need.
They've decided, let's just interview the list manager instead.
Goal sense and creativity, and so it was a real target player for us.
We asked you a couple of days ago, Jace, if Cozzy had been
Crows
in your
get
ear,
pushed back to 21.
Well aware of how
if
close
Gold
and
Coast
tight your
match
interest
this,
was
which I'm not
in his
sure if they
cousin?
will, I don't know how it's going to work.
Well,
I don't know if
by
they
the end of it, mate, because we
even
stuck him
able
in
to
the
afford
back
it. They've got
door
that
to
many,
present
but
the
if
jumper,
they somehow do, there'll
sneaky.
be picks in the 30s in this fucking draft.
What about
for the
Xavier
first
Taylor,
day.
your first pick? You must.
If anyone is watching that knows a little bit more, because I find it all confusing. I don't know how they afford all this stuff.
We feel.
Because
obviously we have players.
I know the
rated,
system, but I just don't know it
from the top of our draft board, and we had a real interest.
I don't know
in
it
Xavier.
fully.
you know,
Meredith
just plays with
Anderson,
a lot
rookie
of,
member for 30 months. Thank you very much.
I suppose a lot of the aspects of footy you love, and you know,
Feel free to
he plays with
put in a
dare,
message as
he
well
plays
if you
with,
want.
Courage and he's
Alongside
got real,
it.
speed and agility, and he can get.
How many
through that
first rounders
line
go
of,
on to play 100
defence
games?
and
Maybe
turn it into
35%.
offence, and, that was a real attraction for us.
Yeah, I
There's a
think
lot of
around the
links
30%
to
mark.
Richmond
I can
and
look
Essendon
that up
right the way
actually
through
whilst
this
we're
draft
waiting.
process has Xavier Taylor. I mean, you must have been rapt that he fell through there because, as you said, he would have been high on your board. But tell us about what he can add,
Get an
particularly from
answer to that
2026
question.
onwards. I mean, we've seen him play some great footy next year.
I think it
Oh, certainly, yeah.
I think I saw a
feel,
stat somewhere.
obviously they've got to
30%,
come in and
like
earn
in
their
that
stripes, but,
sort of
we
mark
see him
sounds
having
about
a,
right.
You know, reasonably instant impact.
If I can even
Xavier,
find an
and,
answer here.
You know, he's certainly, you know, he's got the right
Let's
attributes
see.
for that.
Jace, we've just been discussing the fact that there's been so many bids tonight. I mean,
Can't
West
find
Coast,
it.
this is the 4th bid that
But
they're
I guess
putting
you'd be
through.
in a
How
similar
have you
situation.
found the night and how it's played out so far?
Lenny, it's
from
been
your
a while,
perspective,
mate. How are you
just out
going?
of interest?
It
What
feels
have
like
you
it's
made
been
of it?
ages. I don't think I've
Yeah,
seen
it's
you since
interesting,
Wattle
isn't
Park.
it? It's a bit of a change of the landscape, and it'll challenge
I
clubs.
assume you're going to be back
you know,
next
where they have to have
year
all
in the
ducks in a row,
coaching
really, if they're gonna
side of things.
bring
Hopefully,
every
I'll
player
be
in their academy in, and
probably playing
and it's good that
every game if I
clubs
can.
are just reading them out as they see them.
I'm keen for a big
you know,
pre-season.
So yeah, it's different. It won't be the last of the bids that will come tonight, that's for sure.
You're next on the clock at 29, Jace. You're not going to spring another surprise and trade up into the first round again, are you?
Well, being out here, is that what our picks come into, is it? So
They could bid Max
is
King
that
as
right?
well. He's
Yeah, I better
another
get back in
academy
there.
player, actually. There are quite a few.
Thanks for joining us, mate.
No worries. Good on you. Thanks, guys.
Jason Taylor there from the
Good on you,
Melbourne
Mark,
Football Club. Does a
Crows are
terrific
meant to be
job there.
16th.
They are.
I know, now they're
And we're
21 and they're
taking
going to be
some
probably
time
sliding
with
to
the interviews
22.
to pad things out. Yes, Cal, what have you
Been
got?
talking about the Crows' interest in Dyson Sharp.
Yes.
So can say also that amongst the 3 deals offered, they put forward a 2026 first-round pick.
Wow.
First-round
as
pick.
well as this year's first-round pick, with a little bit going back the other way.
Yep.
But the Bombers were set on their man and wanted to draft Dyson Sharp this year.
So
Dyson Sharp must be
first
highly
round pick
touted then, because
offered,
everyone
because
seems to like be
Carlton
really keen
couldn't
on
get
him.
one for 9 and 11.
Like,
That would have been the first one potentially that was tabled.
pretty much every
at
club,
all at any stage in
if
these
they
live
could have,
trades.
would have drafted him.
Incredible.
Yeah. So the Crows.
It's been a
tried
while.
hard
I'm
to
still
get their
coaching,
guy.
even though I'm at St. Kevin's
Obviously,
next
local
year, which is
midfield will
sports
play
on
straight away.
Saturday.
We know their midfield.
Yeah, sick.
Academy prospect. He said that his dream was to play for Gold Coast. So if he hadn't made it there, poor kid would have.
Is for some time.
Shit.
So it's
We're
a
back.
matter of points.
Are we back? I don't know if we're back. I don't know what's going on.
They've clearly struck that now. So
4 out of 5.
Yep, 4 out of 5.
Kobe Coulson to come.
And Kobe Coulson will get done, I expect, later on, unless the bid comes in the
Fuck.
very short term to push that out. But West Coast now on the clock. We wait to see if Josh Lindsay is their man.
You wonder because they traded such a
lagging
high price to get up
we're
the
not
order. They must have
in a
thought they
good
were
spot.
probably going to get one of those 2 Gold Coast for future second round to get into that spot.
And 2 is Josh Lindsay from the Geelong Falcons, who, well, he just screams leadership, and he has that weapon, which is his left foot, a beautiful left
All right,
foot.
there we go.
Is Josh Lindsay. So those
I
two,
don't know what happened there.
those
Normally
two
the
still on
solution's pretty
board
simple
at
when
the
it does
moment
that,
as
but
West
because
Coast
I'm using this
has
laptop,
another
it's a bit more
3
difficult to
minutes.
fix,
I
but
feel
it's
like we've
fixed
just
now.
been talking about the Eagles the
So
whole time.
it's another pick for the Suns that they get, another match bid.
They have,
the
and if we
fourth
go
one.
back and just have a look, I mean, their
they
night started
got
so well because with the number
Bo
1
added-
selection,
how do you say
they
his name? Bo
drafted
Adensel.
Willem Dersma. Which we knew was
So
coming.
surely that'll be it for Gold Coast.
Met them this
Sorry,
morning
chat.
after being in the Gettable
It was
studios.
lagging.
And then Cooper
You're
Duff
not
Tytler
silly.
at pick number 4, the
weren't just
Ruckman
saying
made
things.
his way over to the West Coast
which does mean the
Eagles.
Crows
So
now
2
slide down
excellent
to
picks
22.
there from West
And
Coast
Hawthorn, I
as they
still
go
haven't
about
picked their
trying
player yet. They're
get
going to be
back up
pick
the
20.
ladder. And now we wonder what they're going to do now, Riley.
Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating call for them, whether or not it is a Josh Lindsay type. Cam Nan's still on the board.
Thank you for being patient though. It was a little bit laggy. I think
Schubert or an Archie Ludowick, a key defender in
Just
a Blake
OBS being
Fringgold
OBS.
or
Can't
it's
give
a
you a
surprise. It is going to be fascinating. I'm sure when
genuine
they made that trade
reason
with
for why that
Hawthorn to
happened.
push up the board, they would have hoped that one of those 2 Gold Coast
well, I can actually update the Bulldogs now because it had I had the Cats at 19. They're not at 19. They're probably like at 25 now. So West Coast are next.
What do you make of their forwards?
I'll actually
Obviously,
update that
Oscar
right
Allen
now
leads
because people are
the
still
club.
confused.
I think they need, and Liam Ryan as well, who kicked a lot of goals over the
So
last
West
couple of years
Coast
for them. So I think they need.
Who have already bidded on 4 players should probably stop doing that.
But they just need talent.
Then
by the way.
Hawthorn are
When you
next.
get to this position, you finish last, you win 1 game for the season. it's a long way back from there.
Got to drop the Hawks.
I think you just need talent. So they'll be assessing the landscape now and seeing exactly what they can bring in. But they've made a good start to the night. Willem Dersmer, as we mentioned, Cooper Duff-Tyler, as we mentioned.
The thing with West Coast doing all these, they don't gain
Who have you
shit
been
for
most
this, though.
pleased with
I don't
in
reckon.
terms of
So
clubs
I don't really
so
see
far
the
as we
point.
look through the first
Bulldogs,
sort of, we're nearly at the first 20 picks of the draft. But has it been Essendon for you that sort of is the most impressive
Then
with
we've
what
got
they've
the
done?
Yeah, I love what they've been able to do. Two big-bodied midfielders in Sully Roby and Dyson Sharp. You bring in a really nice kicker across half-back.
And I think Freo might be next, but
they played a lot of senior footy in 2026.
Confused me that
Melbourne
much that I actually
wouldn't
don't know.
have expected Xavier Taylor to be on the board still when they got around to their first selection. So
you know what?
I'll
I'll actually check just so I know for
North
sure.
Melbourne having traded
I'll check
up,
right now.
I think Lockie Doverston's a really good pick for them. Add a bit of spark and a bit of spunk into their forward 50 next year as well. So I'm sure they would have hoped for an outcome like that where they made that trade with Carlton. They couldn't have known. They would have had a portion, a pool of
I wonder
players
if that's
that
the
would have
main
thought
talking
might be
point right
available
now.
around. I'm sure they would have hoped massively that Lockie
Just
Doverston
having a
was one of
look.
them. The pick is in now for West Coast, so they have picks. Hopefully they don't bid again.
Finally. No, well, I feel like if they had
it has been
pending, which is the dreaded, it's like nearly the Taylor Swift, Cal, the spinning wheel of death when you're trying to get
All
into
right,
that
let's
weight
once
room.
and for all just
Mid-pending.
finalise the order, the draft order, and they've
I
actually
hear you.
deleted
I
the
hear you.
post.
Yeah,
We
I
got
know.
there in the
Oh no,
end.
they
We
haven't.
did
They haven't.
get there twice.
So it looks like after the Crows,
Riding the high of Oasis, by the way.
it's
How many
Brisbane.
times now?
It says on this
Alright, the
Gold Coast.
pick
Now I actually
is
don't know, so I'm just going to leave
in.
it from
Josh Lindsay.
where we have it,
Pick
and I'm just
19,
going
the
to
West
update it
Coast
as we
Eagles
go.
have selected Josh
Hawthorn are
Lindsay
pick 23.
from Geelong
Right, so these
Falcons.
trades have
That
been
left
happening
foot kick is
throughout
a
the night
thing
that I just
of
haven't even
beauty. He is my favourite player
fucking,
in this year's draft pool, and he's
you know,
just an outstanding
updated
user
the
of the ball.
process
Yeah,
and the
he
fact
is.
that
He's
it's
left
actually
foot
happened.
gun off half-back. Big
And
country captain.
all right, finally
Geelong
West Coast
Falcons
pick up
captain.
another one, and
Yeah,
they got the
can
man in
really set
Lindsay.
things
So I
up.
think
He's a slicer
kind
and
of just
dicer
in
off
their
half-back,
mind
and-
getting next
and that's
best
the way
available.
He plays with
He
that
is
ability to do that.
rated 15 in the
Dogs
power
would have
rankings, so
been
he
really keen
drafted
on
number
getting
19. So
him,
if anything,
at
he's
the
probably
next
one of the next
selection,
best in
but-
the
or the
mix.
next two selections, but it's
as
not going to
a
be that way in the end. So
running
we'll wait
back
to see
sort of
what they
midfielder.
do,
So
and also what the Hawks do now as well.
there you
Will
go.
they finally
Eagles
pick, or will
finally
they try
make
and
their
grab
selection,
another,
but it's just
future
quite
second-round
crazy
pick
to
and
see
keep
the
adding to
Suns
tally?
with
I
4
think
names.
Carmichael now, in terms of a bid, will
Side
come into
that,
the mix for the Dogs.
Next couple.
You know, that played finals in
as an
2025.
option here. All right, we're gonna cross to one of our favourites now.
We are your favourite.
The Eagles must
yeah.
hate
You
the
don't
Suns
have
because the amount of
favourites,
times
do
they've matched their bids.
He's one of them.
Well, he is a new Melbourne demon. Is
Yeah,
Xavier
I
Taylor. Xavier,
kinda wanna know a
welcome
reason
to
for
you
why they're
and
doing this, the Eagles.
Congratulations! Did you have an inkling at all that this was coming?
I had little inklings. But
She loves
yeah,
to
nothing-
say the word
nothing,
inkling.
Permanent, and yeah, so it was good to get here and just so happy.
And do you feel a little bit relieved now that it's all done?
Yeah, 100%. It was nervous wait. The first 10 picks felt like it went for 2 hours, so it was good to kind of get my name called out, and yeah, stoked.
Dave, you were pretty nervous yesterday, I reckon. Deep down, you didn't show it too much, but it's always been about one of these 3 Victorian clubs, all showing a lot of interest in
Jesse
you.
wants me to send it to
Tell us
him.
about your interest in Melbourne as well.
I don't know if
who are you looking
that
forward
was
to playing
directed to
with
me,
at the
that
D's?
comment.
I went to school with Caleb Windsor a couple of years ago, and yeah, it'd be good to run around with him, and yeah, good mate to
Good
him.
work
so
with
it'd be
chat
good.
with Cardi.
Can't wait to see you play with him. I also can't wait
Yeah,
to see
I
you
don't know if
hopefully
it's good
match
work,
up
it's just
on
keeping
good
it
mate.
consistent.
Obviously, at some
But
stage
I
next year is
appreciate
off to
it,
the
people
Kangas.
still
Who wins
listen.
that battle, do you reckon?
I think
we've
they'll get
done
better
a trade
over the
about
next few
200
months as
times.
well.
I think I've won 199
When I start getting some guest appearances as well.
We'll make it 200 times, so yeah.
Classic answer.
What's been the early comms with or chat with Stephen King? Have you shaken his hand tonight, and is he giving you a hug? He's a big man.
Yeah, just met him.
AFL's the best
it's been
sports.
awesome to meet a few of the coaches and that
He's
sort
in
of
the
stuff,
chat.
and a few players messaged me and that, so it's been cool.
And is the spider tat doing something in that Guernsey? You can see your arms now.
Take these
Yeah,
headphones
it's
off just to
spider
let my
tat's
ears
going,
breathe.
right,
So
had a
Hawthorn
demon
finally
tat.
get their
Oh,
chance
we win a flag.
for the
I
night.
like
win a
it.
flag.
I love it.
When you win a flag, Zave, when?
Yes,
Yeah, when.
That's
When.
right. I love that. Well, Zave, congratulations. We're absolutely stoked for you. Well done on being drafted to Melbourne. Go and enjoy the rest of tonight. And we can't wait to see you out there on the footy field next year.
No, well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Xavier Taylor there. I absolutely love the banter
What a
between
good
him
kid.
and Lockie Doverston. Fantastic.
Good little side note. note as well for
Hey,
the
Ellie's,
Eagles
I'm
pick
not
is,
sure.
Josh
I
Lindsay's
said
really
maybe.
tight friends with Willem Dersma as well.
Yes.
And as well as
It's the wrong
Cooper Duff
conversation
Cutler
for that.
spent a
I
lot
don't
of time
really
with those
think
two, as
it's
part
the
of
right time to talk about
March
next
AFL
year.
Academy too. So I think that's important
Sydney
when
Swans.
you're drafting Victorians or guys interstate as the West Coast Eagles side, or if you're drafting from a Victorian side, players from different states, the relationships that you can carry to a club, and Lindsay and Dersma certainly have come through the ranks together.
And we've mentioned how much they've strengthened their backline. They lose Jeremy McGovern, obviously, through retirement, but they bring in Brandon Starsvich and Tyler Young, as we mentioned. Ruben Jinby's had a really good impact down there. Ryan Marrick's had a really good impact down there as well. But to get another kicker and a ball user, so Josh Lindsay... He's a good defensive player, but it hasn't
Not
been
many comments are
his
through on the
overall
chat at
strength
the
because
moment
that's
to
been his
read.
kicking. So they get a ball mover off half-back as well now, which is a really important asset for them.
What are you
going forward
looking
as well.
at now,
Nice left
Sports
foot
Nut,
kick.
now
So
that
can't wait to
Sharp
see
has
him
obviously been taken?
I think it's an exciting time for West Coast. I know they've had a
I-
really hard couple.
If I stream tomorrow, I'm definitely going to have a
seasons, but
checklist and like
comes in,
sort
he
of
gets
cross them out
another,
as they go. 'cause I
season, another pre-season to get that game
Forgot to do
plan
that.
going, and now you've got this
Could
young
probably still
talent
do it
coming
now,
through
actually.
because they sold the farm for Tim Kelly all those years back, and they never quite recovered from losing all
see
of
who's
that
next
talent,
left.
I guess, when it came to the draft, and now they're able to replenish with some elite talent at
actually
the
a
top end. So
good idea.
fantastic news if you are a West Coast fan. So Hawthorn, with 26 seconds left on the clock, they have just been trading the pick out.
They don't want us to make a
further
pick.
and further back, and we look to see what they might do. Will they trade it again? They've obviously accumulated already tonight 2 second-round picks.
It's getting
for
to a
next
point
year's
there's no
draft. So they've
options
got
left here,
something
Sports Nut.
in their bag of tricks that they can take home with them tonight. They're not going completely home empty-handed, but they have, looks like they've made some kind of selection. So we'll wait and see what they do. And you think, Cal, with Cam Nan's name still on the draft board, that he's probably the best talent that's still available?
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be right around that mark. So Aiden Schubert's another one they've done work on
I'd
recently.
pick Cam Nan.
They've been busy with interviews in the past week or so.
I file
but,
Hawthorn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nan's one of those guys. Do they go for another different tall? They've worked their way back and done really well to pick up some assets along the way.
He's the bloke that kicks 7 goals in a game.
And with pick number 20, the Hawthorn Football Club
There you go.
has selected Cameron Nan from the Central
General
District
forward.
Football Club. And as I
What's
mentioned
his
before,
height?
I mean, he can play forward and kick
188
those 7 goals
centimetres,
in the
and he's a
carnival against
midfielder as
WA
well. And he
Riley,
kicks
but
7 goals in the
he finished
game.
playing the season in the midfield.
And that's where you liked him, Cal, last couple of weeks. Played in the midfield, played as a
He
wing. He loved playing
did
as
well
a,
to
as
pick
a
him up.
defensive winger as well, because the one thing he added to his game this year was he built his tank. And he had a really strong fitness base.
I think he'll play
and
quite a
good
bit
endurance
next year
base
for
as
them,
well. So
for the Hawks.
Being able to do that showed a
Even
different
though there are
side to
a
his
few
game.
spot
He had that
selections
7-goal
up
game
by-
against WA where he's
It's going to
absolutely
be hard to get a
fantastic.
spot selection up for grabs on the forward
It was
line.
an
but-
important draft for Hawthorn. They stacked some assets, but they also lost a lot of depth through the trade period. They were the only side to not bring a player in
You take
through
that-
the trade period, but then they
All right,
lose
I'll,
James
update it.
Worpel, obviously, to Geelong, and then
Josh-
Chankwas Jiath and Jai Sarong left as well. So they
So
need
Josh
to improve
Lindsay,
their depth.
who did
and
he get
they
selected?
bring in a
He
player
got
in Cam Nan,
selected
who
to the West Coast.
I think he can play across all 3 lines. I think South Australia at the start of the year had predicted he might spend a bit of time across half.
I don't know much about this bloke, to be honest, but it shouldn't be too bad. No, I don't play it.
So he's someone that can
I looked up
fit any need
his
they
highlights
desire
briefly
Hawthorn in the
before the
next couple of
stream.
years.
He was
so that
someone
is
I
Hawthorn.
thought was
They
going to be
finally
taken
made
earlier.
a selection,
So if anything,
shuffling back.
a bit
So
of
yes,
a
the
bit of a
Dogs now
slider.
are on the clock, and we probably thought, Cal, that they were interested in a player like Josh Lindsay. I'm sure that they're disappointed that he's gone now off the board. So where did they look to next?
I think there are a chance
From this
to
point onwards,
make a bid on Lachie Carmichael.
it's
Okay.
kind of all just
I think that'd be a
guesswork. I'm not sure
at
what's
this
going
point.
to
And,
happen.
look, to test the Swans. I think there are a
But to
reasonable
be
chance.
completely honest with you, it looks
match
like the
though.
chat don't know either, so
but
that's
it
all
will
right.
test them. So that's a watch. And then if that is matched, and if they do go down that way, I'm not sure which way they go after that. Maybe they go for one of the tools.
Or could they potentially look to shuffle down a little
Yep.
bit and see if there's a buyer? Because I'm not saying names are running out in their list, but it just wouldn't shock me if they tried to shuffle down. There'd been some talks of it initially. So now with the likes of Josh Lindsay, and if a bid's matched on Lachie Carmichael, and we think that bid is coming,
Alright,
there's been some links to it right the way through the process. If they can shuffle down and try and get someone a bit later.
Yeah, I think this will be a bid on Lachie Carmichael.
All right, well, while we wait and see what the Western
I
Bulldogs
haven't actually seen the
do,
like
we
count, to
have
be
a
honest.
new
I haven't really kept up
kangaroo,
to date
joining us
with that.
on the show.
86.
It is, of course, Lachie Doverston, one of our favourites here, one of the Gettable Boys' favourites.
It's
Lachie,
too early in the
congratulations to you
freaking
on
year,
becoming
though.
a
It's not
kangaroo.
even pre-season yet.
Nah,
You
thank
can't
you.
just
Thanks
pick
so
me if we
much.
get
It's
150
unreal.
likes.
What was it
We're
like, that
probably not
moment
going to get
that
that
your
unless I
name was
talk about it a
read
lot, but I
out?
don't care
What
about the
went through your
likes
mind?
tonight.
Nah, not a lot. Not a lot, really.
Just pick
as
me
normal,
regardless.
I guess. But
You'll
yeah, it's just
regret
unreal
not picking me when you see the
yeah,
fucking
just,
size of me back.
Shell shocked, I guess.
And we
in
did have
the
Xavier
pre-season of
Taylor
next
on
year.
just a minute ago, who sort of may have
Round one's like in
intimated
April,
that
though.
if you two were to line up on
Isn't it?
each other and play each other next year,
This
that
is
he
an
would
awful
probably
draft. One,
win
God's
the
green
contest
earth
because he's
will
won
be
100.
select.
What did he say? 99 of the 100 times that you guys have played against. Do you want to write a reply?
Yeah, I can understand
I'll let him think that he's got
why you
absolutely
were
no chance.
be a little bit
Anytime-
frustrated that you
anytime
didn't
we've
pick
been at training,
Roby,
he knows that he's
especially,
never
but
won one.
you know, he's,
Mate, have you thought much about North as an option?
his speed will be
Since they traded
exciting.
up and
So
felt
I
like
think
they
you know you
were
got to
right in the mix for you.
got to have the
I know
faith
there's a couple of other
that they've made
clubs
the
in
right
terms of
call.
Hawthorn and
You know,
Essendon
it's
that
too
have
early to
shown
call
interest
that'll
in
be
you,
a
but had you
it'll be
looked
a
at where
bad
you might
decision
fit
that
into
the
the
Tigers
Roos
made.
when,
He could
when,
end up
when
being
they
a
did
gun.
move that
He should
deal
be
up?
he should be a
Yeah,
player
when I
that'll
saw
play
them,
150
move
games
up,
at
I kind
least.
of thought like there was definitely
Most
a
in
chance.
the
and then,
top 15 should
yeah,
be.
didn't really think like, oh, it could be happening. I guess I kind of thought it, but then yeah, once it happened, just was unreal and yeah, amazing.
Clarko's such a massive figure at the North Melbourne Footy Club, Lockie. Have you had a chat to him yet? Did he reach out before the draft, or have you had a chat to him since you were picked?
Nah,
But I did,
chat to him
yeah,
yet.
I did think
Sure,
you'd
chat to him
select
tomorrow.
who was it? Roby over
Well, Lockie,
Grill.
thank you so much for joining us. We've got to get back to the
And
draft.
the reason I
but
say I
we
think
are
because
so stoked for you.
Kaltumi
You've landed
had that
at North
selection.
Melbourne.
Whenever
Go and enjoy
Kaltumi
the
makes
rest
a
of the night,
selection,
and
he's
we'll
normally
see you on
right.
the footy field next
I
year.
actually need to check to see
Yeah,
what
thank
he's
you.
up to
Thanks
in
for having
terms
me
of
on.
correct predictions in
Lockie
his top
Davison
20.
there, pick 16 to North
top
Melbourne.
20.
I love that he said as regular.
Actually, let
nothing
me
went
see.
behind.
How many has he gotten bang on?
I think he'll be a
So
fan
far?
favourite pretty quickly, as I said,
Dursma,
and maybe even an
Yulin,
opposition
Dean,
non-fan
Duff Tyler,
favourite. He'll be in
Patterson,
the faces of
We love the agitators.
Cummings.
now.
There's a bit
That
of
was the
Jack
first
Higgins
one
about it. That's
that
probably the comparison
wasn't
I give
what he
sometimes.
selected. So
It's not
Grill
Jack
actually
how goal smart
was
he is. Like he reads
slider
and
for
sees
him.
it quicker
Roby,
than
no.
most and relies on that.
Taylor was
preciseness
predicted to be
in
selected
and
by the
around goal.
Bombers,
We see a
but
bid now pending
the
from
D's got him.
the Dogs. This will be.
So they actually didn't nail any.
Carmichael's
He didn't nail
prospect.
any of
They've
Essendon's
clearly been
selections.
looking at halfbacks. Oscar Taylor.
So I haven't counted it all, but I'd
Josh
probably
Lindsay got so
say
close to getting
14,
there.
15.
And now they go
Henshey
for the Swans halfback with the
wasn't picked
the hope
20
that they
Freo.
can- The match now we wait. To see
Yeah,
the Swans
originally, but
picks position.
mate,
I
we've
think
seen
they
like
should be
4 or
able
5 bids already.
I
So
think they've done some
they've just all
planning around
fallen.
this. I mean, it's
But
it's
originally
not a-
Freo were
what are they?
picked
So
20.
it would have been 14 the bid on Harry Cole and then 21 here.
It
So
says here
that's the
Brisbane at
price.
23. That isn't
Yeah,
right.
it's
I need to
tight,
fix
it's
that.
tight. And
They
the-
were originally,
The one thing would be
but
that they would have worked
obviously
this
not
scenario,
anymore
workshop
after
this
the
scenario a
Annabelle
lot because it's not come from surprise.
pick. So I'm gonna
So
just
the Harry
quickly
Cole bid
change
didn't
that.
come as a surprise, and
Hawthorn.
where it came, and the Lockie Carmichael
That
one was
again
either.
was a live trade.
Okay,
They got
we'll
that pick.
see what happens
Henshey though, what's
here.
going on?
Well, the Sydney Swans work out
been,
and get their calculators out on what they have. So still to come tonight
So
as we
it's been
make
a
our
while
way
since we've
to
caught up
towards
the other
the
week, but we
end of the
definitely
first
I'd be keen to do some
round. So
stuff over
Adelaide's
the
still
next
got
couple
a
of weeks.
pick.
Yeah, so after this we've
Hawthorn,
got the Adelaide,
Geelong.
Hawthorn, Geelong and Fremantle.
And then Freo.
And then that's it for the first round.
Oh,
And so as
oh.
you talked about yesterday too,
Apparently
then we get
that's
to
it after the Freo
second round,
selection.
which starts tomorrow night, but it's nearly like a new number 1 pick.
I
and
thought we
that
were going to go
sometimes
a lot
holds some
longer
value.
than that.
Right now it's with North Melbourne. Do you expect any people to come?
Again, I
any
could be
clubs
wrong. I
coming
could have
for that
misheard
one?
what they said.
Let's
but
wait and see who's on the board, I reckon. But you know,
it sounds promising.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Another
and
fucking
that's- that
bid.
can be the
Oh my
case in
God, I
terms
thought
of
you were
that part of
joking
the
me. You're
draft as
actually
well.
not.
We've just seen.
It's going to be
future
Max
second
King,
round
I
picks
reckon.
thrown around like they're nothing. So let's
Because
wait
he's
and
the
see,
only other player in the
overnight.
top
And
50 that
that's
I can
the
think of
position,
that hasn't
isn't
been
it?
bidded
Last year
yet.
we didn't see anything. I think Richmond, maybe might have said that there was a big offer.
Oscar
coming,
Taylor
but there
graduated
never
from my
really
school
was.
this year.
And that's been the case for a couple of years now.
Now,
What
Geelong
school did you go
often
to?
will throw in a spanner in the works and select a player that is maybe just a little bit off
That's called
centre
to
that we
say
don't know
new
too much about off
player in the
Broadway.
draft
Perhaps
class from
we're
the
not
same
expecting that tonight,
school.
are we, Cal?
Hope
I know
they've had
Cooper Hines from last year
They've had
from
a
the
look at getting
Bulldogs
up the board
played
in recent
yeah.
times as well. So
It was
wait and
actually
see
the
if they
father of someone who I went to school with in the same year level. He went to the same school as me. There aren't heaps. Harry Mattia was another one, but there aren't a lot. I don't think the school I went to produced a lot of
sort of
talent.
conversation. Louis Emmett's another player that's
a couple of players, I guess,
in that group too.
Probably don't know me well.
Okay, so the bid is still
oh my
pending
effing
for
God,
the
I hate
Western
this.
Bulldogs. We do believe that it is Lockie Carmichael from the Sydney Swans
I wonder if
Academy
that's the shared,
made a bid
like, overall
obviously,
viewpoint from a lot of the fans watching
with
this.
the Sydney
Just fuck
Swans,
these
they
bids,
already
get on
matched
with
a
it.
bid at pick 14 for Harry Kyle. So they're just working out if they've got the points under this new system to match this bid. As we've said tonight, we've had a lot of bids going on, most of them coming from West Coast. So it's been a fun night keeping track of all of it. Imagine all the
Not been a fun
spreadsheets
night.
that are in
I actually wonder.
the
I saw
rooms with the
Jesse do a
clubs
stream,
right now. I
and
mean,
he
you
had
have
the
to be
whole
organised.
He had his draft
This
board,
is why clubs appoint
but I
full-time,
don't think he expected this many
analysts and
bids
guys who
himself.
work
So I
the
actually want to know what he's
analytics
done with that.
machines and do all of the,
I actually, if anyone else
forecasting and the
who
trends
is
and the
streaming
models,
the
and they put all
draft
the
with all the
data in, they
graphics
run
on the screen,
all
I'd
of
like
the
to know how they've
simulations in terms of if bids
fixed
placed
it
here,
all
what
up.
do we got? If it's placed there, what do we got? These are guys that are working full-time in list management and recruiting teams now, and that's because the bidding system has become
He's
such a
just putting the
significant
logo
part
on
of the
top.
way the draft operates. So plenty of bids already. We think this one is on Lockie Carmichael from the Swans, and we'll
Infantry
see
Gully.
if Sydney's able to match it.
And we can see there.
I used to play
pick
footy,
21
not
is
Infantry
Adelaide
Gully,
with
but I used to
pick
play
22,
footy
and while
around
we were
Infantry
on
Gully
Adelaide,
when I was like
also
really
had
young.
this thought, and it's probably more about Friday and the pre-season draft.
So what would have his club
looking
been?
to join the Adelaide Football
Eastern-
Club, one that's left over from trade period.
What
so
clubs
just
in the
explain
Eastern-
to our viewers,
It's not
Riley,
the
how
Eastern
that will
Rangers.
work.
Yeah,
Is
so
it?
when he didn't get traded, he was obviously out of contract.
It might be the Eastern Rangers. I don't know.
Him, which means
I'm
he
from
had to
Perth and I'm
delist
going to the
himself
MCG
after
next
the
year for one of my
period
birthday.
Ended. He's available.
So you're
to
going to
any
go
club,
for
but
the
through
Boxing Day
pre-season
test,
draft, you
I
can set
assume.
your
That's
own
going to be
terms
cool.
For the contract. So Adelaide
I
have a 5-year
haven't
deal
got
on
tickets
the
yet for the
table for
Boxing
him
Day
right the
test.
way
I
through
probably
the
have
trade
missed out on
period.
them.
I reckon all of that money from the
I
over
might go
5
to
years
day
will be
2 or
condensed
3.
into
I'll
2
definitely go
years.
to one or two of
That
them.
way, it'll make it so sky high that
I know
other clubs
pre-season hasn't
won't
started,
match
but you
it.
played 2
He hasn't
games.
met with any clubs. No other
I know,
clubs
I
have
haven't missed it.
requested,
Haven't missed a beat,
information
and
on
I
financial
played in a
terms of the
season
deal
where I
he's
did not
nominating on,
train once.
which
I literally
lends
stopped
itself
going
belief
to the
that
gym
Adelaide is the only club that
in
is a realistic
February,
chance of taking him in
and
Friday's
I was
pre-season
eating like
draft, which
shit, and I like
you can
lost a lot
only
of
catch on AFL.com
body mass and
from
muscle and all
3:15
that,
PM
I'm
and I
looking
still
forward
played
to
half
watching the
decent.
two
So
of you
I
do
just
that. So
feel
wait,
like
it's usually a
next
pretty
year could
quick
be a
one,
lot
isn't it,
different.
the rookie pre-season
It
draft?
certainly is. By then,
Must have been
recruiters
so
are like,
amazing that
"Get
Harry
me
Dane
out."
got drafted by the Saints
Get me
We
when he
love
was
you
dead.
rookies. We love you rookies, but
That is a
let's
dream, I
do
guess,
this and
and
get
to
in
be
there.
drafted again
When do
so
you think
early
they're
as
all going
well.
on holidays? Do you reckon
But
they do
the
a
earlier
recruiter
you drafted, the more
They're going
pressure
to
was
New
put on you.
Zealand
But
on the academy trip.
Are you
everyone
trying to
knew
get
that
on
he
this
was going to be
junket?
selected by the Blues.
It's not
So
a junket.
Oh, sorry.
we don't really have as
A
many
work
father-son
trip.
picks as
Don't
we
even go there. No.
have seen in other years.
How many work
Certainly
trips
more
have you been on?
academy selections as opposed to
I did go
father-sons.
to China twice, so I can't
But,
talk. Bid pending.
Yeah, no, he'd be over the moon at the
think,
moment, I would assume.
AFL CEO, if my mail is correct,
Didn't match it,
Andrew
Sports
Dillon
Nut,
is about
for
to go on
once.
stage. Oh,
they've passed.
okay. So Sydney Swans have
Lachlan
passed. So either they've
Carmichael.
been
See, I don't-
unable to. Well, I think
Okay,
in
I
this
did
case,
have him listed
match
down, but I
the
didn't get
points
round to
that are
actually jotting
required.
down
So this is
anything
the
more than
first
just,
time this
you know,
has
his
happened tonight in the draft.
position
so
and his
Lachlan
height and all
Carmichael
that, but
now becomes
Lachlan
a
Carmichael
Western
wasn't matched by the
Bulldog.
Swans.
He was the Allies MVP.
Was it the
during
Swans?
The carnival
What
and-
academy? I don't,
Where do you
I'll
see
look
his
this one up,
best
actually.
position, Callan Riley?
Halfback, yeah, he was
Halfback?
really good for the halfback line for the Allies. The MVP, as you said, Nat,
Let's have a look.
was a consistent player.
Where
was
are the
consistent
Saints
for the
picks?
Swans
Why are you trying to
throughout
make
their
fun of
season
me?
as
I
well.
don't really
Turns up and performs every single week. Uses the ball really well as well. So yeah, he's a
have
a
too
player
much of a
who,
worry that we're not in the
Dogs
first
have
round.
Clearly identified as
Like,
a
we're
need
not
across that halfback.
rebuilding,
Well, they
so
brought in a halfback through the trade period. But
I think we did the
obviously
right
wanted more
thing by trading away our
assistance
picks,
in that
at
area.
least early picks.
Lindsay would have been, I think,
And we'll
top of
still
that
probably
group,
get who we
but
need to
in
get,
the
who
end, they
we're
get
probably wanting to get in the
number
second
two
round.
guy,
So
and
I
that's the
might
draft,
tune
isn't
into the
it? I mean,
draft
that's
purely
a
for
wait
that
and hold
reason.
and hope.
Why the
another big surprise on the night. I think a lot of people had pegged that if Sydney
Yeah, it was
got a
Sydney.
bid on
I
Lachlan
just wanted to
Carmichael
know.
here that they would
I'll
match it,
jot
so
that one
letting
in.
him slide through. I wonder if there's some intelligence on Sydney's side that they know a bid for Max King is coming in the next run of selections, maybe, or exactly where that would fall, and whether or not.
Where's their next pick?
Sam Flanders
their
as well.
Next pick is currently.
We had to trade away
35.
pick 5
35.
actually,
I
but it
think
wouldn't have
they're
been
gonna
pick 5. It
get
would have
that
ended up
pick
being
in
pick
before,
9 or 10. But we traded that pick
before
away
I
for
did
Gold
for Max
Coast.
King.
They have wanted,
Petrarca.
and they've been quite open with it. We spoke to Chris Keane, their list
So
manager,
that was
earlier this week. They've wanted
traded
to use
quite
a
a
pick
bit.
in the open pool as well, so whether or not that's it. But in terms of the considerations, that is one that would be factoring into their decision-making and exactly where they had Lockie
So
Carmichael.
Lachlan Carmichael going to the
Adelaide
Bulldogs.
now on the clock, Cal. Some links to Mitch Marsh, who's obviously a forward in this range. Some links
Surely,
to Archie Ludwig, who we must
considering
say
Mitch
is
Marsh
his
still on the
18th birthday
table,
today.
and he was heavily linked to
He's
the
had a
Crows,
pressure-filled day,
I
because not
am
only was
guessing
he,
that should be where
hoping to
the
get drafted
Crows
tonight,
are
he had his
looking at.
driver's license test early this morning as well. I'm told
hope he
I'm told he
Given
passed.
his
So
that
tick
key
one
forward
for
that I guess will come into
he's
the
passed.
rise
Now
and
he's
ranks
hoping to hear his
when
name called
Tex
out. If it's
retires,
not
would be
tonight,
my
it'll
guess.
be very early tomorrow.
Carmichael.
But he's been a player that has been in Adelaide's sights throughout this draft process as well.
Did you pass first go for your license?
Of course. I'm the best driver I know.
Yeah, I was 3-point turn, so easy.
Oh, I had to do the 45-degree angle park, and I was like, what? This is like the easiest thing ever. It's amazing. Well, happy
That is
birthday to Archie.
Yeah, I think the Crows here,
Fuck is
I think
this?
you're right.
Sorry.
Ludwig's in the mix, Mitch Marsh is in the mix. I sort of leant
Not
the
letting
way
me
of Mitch Marsh
update
in
the
the
colour-
lead up. Whether that's still the same,
colour
I don't know. But Harley Barker's still there.
Oh, there we
Blake
go.
Threadgold's
All right.
still there. We've spoken about their intent to get up.
Never
the
knew
board
Mitch
as well.
Marsh played footy and
while we
cricket.
just wait
See,
on what
Jimbo
the
made
Adelaide
a
Crows are gonna
gag
do this
about it
weekend, I
earlier,
do
but
wanna take
it's good
a
to see the other
moment, and
gag
I know you hate
returns.
doing this, but to revisit your phantom
Ashes are
draft.
starting
We won't do
actually
this too
in a
often
few days,
throughout
on
the
Friday.
night,
I was
but
actually going to do an Ashes
I do
stream,
believe
but
that the 20
probably not
players
for the
that
first
have been
Ashes.
drafted
I don't think I have
are
the
the
time,
20
but let
players
me know if you guys
had
want to
going in
see
your
me
top
like
20
just sit
in
down
the
and watch
Phantom
cricket for a
draft,
bit.
just maybe in a slightly different order. But you got the
Might
20
have to do what I've
players,
done a
so
little bit
well
on the
done
other
to you.
draft. Just
Just
update my
You
knowledge on
definitely
like
take it. This
who's
is the hardest draft, Phantom
shit
draft
like that.
we've
Because I know
ever had to
Hazelwood's
do.
not going to
Take
play the
anything.
first test.
We'll take the top 20.
So I don't know
I
who's
think,
coming in for him.
we count Darcy Sharp as a win to the Bombers.
Yeah.
So that's what
Oh, yeah.
Count the bids. It doesn't matter where they'll play. Count the bids.
No, exactly.
I'm like
I
fully
agree.
out of the
No,
cricket
well
loop
done.
until
Big
like the
tick
test
to you,
and
and the
Ashes
pick
start.
is in, so the Adelaide Crows just they haven't used the full 5 minutes, which I like. Let's move this along a little bit.
Because they know who they're going to get here, the
For a
Crows.
while, I need some chocolate.
4 more clubs on the board.
But that's
until
okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. So yes, we've got Adelaide and then Hawthorn, Geelong, then Fremantle, and then as it stands, it's North Melbourne who has the first pick of night 2 of the 2025
North had the first
Telstra
pick in
AFL
round 2.
draft. But
I'm not
we're
sure
up
if
to
I'll do
pick
round 2
22,
yet.
and with
I'll
pick
have to
22,
maybe
the
update
Adelaide
in the stream. I'll
Crows
just let you
have
guys know what
selected
you guys want.
Mitch Marsh.
There you go.
Not
So Mitch
the
Marsh.
cricketer, but Mitch
I had that
the forward.
pretty much selected from the start, so there's not much of a surprise with that selection.
In Ben Marsh. So Ben didn't play enough games.
There you go.
to
So he's
land
moved from
at
cricket
the-
to footy, and
his
he's
son
now
as a
much
father's
younger.
son. He obviously played for Adelaide and Richmond, but
However, he's,
played 55 games.
not
was
a
limited in
WA
his career through injury, so wasn't eligible to have
based
his son
player
go to the Crows
in
as
this
a
one.
father's son. But they pick him anyway, Ross.
Who are we getting?
That's
Well, there you go.
after a
There's your answer of
goal-kicking
key forward.
particularly in the first sort of half of the season. He kicked 30 goals in 15 games this year at under 18 level for the Westies, and
I'm still
performed
updating
really
the
consistently as
Lachlan
well
Carmichael
for
one.
South Australia at the Carnival. So yeah, efficient,
Got a long ass name.
can lead up, can mark, and double back. Just knows his way around goal. Exactly. Yep.
He's got a massive fitness base.
Put a little bit of
like it
time
as well
into
in the sense that
researching
Taylor
a bit
Walker's gonna
about
be
him.
36 next year. He's held that
Sarah, I
tall
reckon.
role in the Adelaide forward
Oh,
line
what the-
right the way through the season alongside Darcy Fogarty and Riley Thilthorpe, of course. This would be with an eye on that. And Taylor Walker going around again in 2026. Can they get a year of development under Mitch Marsh and then see him explode potentially from 2027 onwards? So I like this pick up from the
All right.
Crows.
Thank you.
They'll expect more development
Doing
from
that.
Sid Draper and Dan
Just
Curtin
completely
next year as well.
reset, so
And it's a
let's
nice
put the
little
name
group
in
they're
again.
starting to build in amongst a really strong midfield group and in amongst a really strong back line.
Hawthorn
What
in
do
the
you
other
think
first
is a better
round.
life moment for Mitch Marsh? Getting
Maybe I
drafted
should have
to the
said that
Adelaide Crows
before.
tonight, where his dad played in a flag, or
I don't know
getting
how
a
long you've
video
actually joined the
message
stream for, but I
from
probably should have
Mitch
said that a
Marsh,
bit
the
earlier.
Australian cricketer on Gettable.
Well,
Like,
Riley
just
interviewed him,
clarify
you
that
can
not
answer
every
that
team
one.
has a selection.
What do you reckon?
Because some people still don't know.
He loved the shout out.
I think that everyone's going to be involved, but that's not really the case. Saints aren't involved, Collingwood aren't involved, and I believe
because he always wanted to
Horde
tell
are
him
the other
they shared a
team,
name.
and that might
Mitch
be
Marsh
it.
never answered his
Can't
call, and then finally,
remember. I think they're the
Mitch
three
Marsh's
teams that
cricketer
aren't
reached
having any
out
action.
and said if he's half as good as me, he'll play 250 games.
I love it. I love it. Well, Hawthorn is back on the clock here.
What did Aaron say?
Do we expect them to try and trade this one out as well, or do they actually take a selection?
Yeah, they've got
Obviously,
4
their first
selections in the
got
top
pushed
18.
Back quite a bit to pick
Alongside
20,
all of their other
selected
stacked.
Cam Nan.
Yeah,
the
that's
stacked
right.
midfield they currently
kept
have.
shuffling back. This is the one they
Petrarca,
shuffled forward.
Hugo Hagen
with that future
is
third
half
round
the
pick. So I
player
think
that he
it's
was
been a really good night for
promised to
Hawks.
be. They'll take him.
Aiden Schubert is a player they've done some work on. Do they go for a defender in Blake Threadgold? Harley Barker
So
won't be playing
I
much footy
I
next
could
year as
certainly
he
see the
recovers from
Suns
an ACL
finishing
injury.
top, but I
So
could
they go
also
somewhere
see
we haven't expected as much. You know, this is probably
not
the
finishing top
point of the
4
draft
because of
where
their tougher
we might
fixture,
start to see some
and
names that
they have
might be a
been
little bit unfamiliar
pretty
in
much
terms
getting
of
handed a
the
gift from the
predictions.
AFL the last couple of years to make
There's
finals.
a whole group of players
They've only
that
sort of
they've done
just
work on in
scraped
this
in,
range.
so it could be a little bit more difficult in
the
the next
forward
season.
group. So yeah, we
with a bit
start
of a
to see
tougher
things
fixture.
open up a little bit here.
But
I
their
think
list
Fremantle a couple of picks back.
even
We'll be waiting
scarier,
to see
so
as well
maybe
if
it's
Aiden
not
Schubert
the
gets
case.
through. What do they do? Geelong, I don't expect to make a move up now. I only have one spot to wait anyway, so that might be a little bit of the trading
You'd be
done.
a little bit pissed off if you were a Freo or Geelong
they've
fan,
endured
given
a few more picks than
you've
we
had to
thought
wait
they
all
would
this
tonight.
time
And
just to see your
potentially a
team
run
get
of
named
bids,
out.
probably on either side of the first
Probably
night,
the
so
good
whether
thing
or not
that
they come tonight or
you've
the
sort of
second
done
night.
early if
Jack
you're like a
Dyson
club
in
like
amongst
Carlton.
them, Adam Swade in amongst them, Tyler Williams, who's attached to West Coast, in amongst that group that have been sort of linked with this pick. So we'll wait and see exactly which way Hawthorn go here, and then whether or not a run of bids potentially could come either here or beyond there.
Okay, well, we'll wait and see what they have to do. In the meantime, does anyone need some sugar? Because we've got a little bowl down here.
I'd love a snake.
Get a snake.
Did the
a
Cats
yellow
trade their
snake. Why
pick?
would you choose a yellow snake?
No, I
That's
had
not
it
the-
on the
that's not the
screen.
colour. Come on,
Must have
you're
just.
better than that.
I don't know. Must have just reset.
It's a yellow and brown snake.
Okay, fine.
They're on the clock.
Fine, I'll allow it.
Sorry, I'll
I'll
pick
pick
the
one.
Cats.
What are you
The
going
Cats are there.
Well,
The
Crunchy
Cats are
will
at
get
pick
stuck in my teeth,
24
which
and
is
then it
probably
ends at
too late for
3:00.
right now, I reckon.
Yeah, I know, that's probably
So
inappropriate.
I don't know.
Maybe
Something
this one.
I don't want to chew.
in my mind made me
Someone's
believe that there
gonna
were
have to-
going to be
might be left
more
to me to read
with
whoever
all the
Hawthorn's
other matches,
picked,
but I
I
guess
reckon
with the
Well, I'm
trades,
going to wait.
not allow that to be the case.
Wait and see exactly what Hawthorn do. Wait
So
for Andrew
Cats
Johns to
are
come to the stage to read
24.
out Hawthorn's pick. I'm being the adult in the room here. And,
The adult, as if you're an adult. Come on now.
Hey, don't you laugh behind the
I've
camera
seen you two on Gettable and the silly things. Oh, you're unserious. That's what you are, according to Willem Dursner. The #1 pick says you're unserious. Now, you do have a lot of fun on Gettable.
What channel
is
is
Gettable
this
done for the year, or
We got one more.
Oh, got more.
We got one more.
Just
left.
AFL website if you're
One
talking about
more
what's on the
show.
screen on the bottom.
Show.
Yeah, we've got the wrap up next week, which we're really keen to do actually. So it's a wrap up and a preview.
You got handed
for,
Nick Dacos balls on top. What sort of
2026.
point are you trying to make? They didn't get handed
I
shit
was
when
looking
you
at
had literally the
2026.
guy
Will you be wearing an Oasis
that supports
bucket hat?
Collingwood that
That is the
benefited
question
from
on
probably
everyone's
the best player in the league
I think
through
everyone's
father
sick of
son
me talking
when
about
you
Oasis.
Who did
were
you put on the radar like this day last year, 2024,
Yes.
is the one to watch? Because I remember saying Judd McVeigh.
What year
ended
was
up
it?
Leaving Melbourne.
Yep.
it doesn't matter. You still
There was
benefited
certainly a name
greatly
that was gonna
from
be
it greatly.
watched right the
I
way
think it
through
was Zach Merritt interested in Hawthorn.
2021.
Well, here come the Hawks, actually. So who are they going to pick here at
Yeah, still not over that.
Why would anyone want
Pick
Brisbane to win?
23. As we take a look, you can see on the ticker at the
Brisbane fans
bottom, we're
would.
going
Give me a
through
rest.
the
Still a lot of
picks,
people
but Xavier Taylor at
like
11
Brisbane
and
over
Latrell Pickett, a very nice
many other Victorian clubs, a lot
pair
of the big clubs.
selections for the Melbourne Football Club, and Jason Taylor was good enough to join us a short while ago
So,
on our show to
I
talk
wonder
us
if,
through how that came about.
there's
Pickett
another
even
ruckman
snuck
that's
in to hand
up
over
there in the
Latrell
rankings
Pickett,
in Aiden Schubert.
his
I wonder if he'll get
jumper
picked
tonight
up.
when his name was called out.
Maybe the
and
Cats
that's the
go for
top
him.
10 and how it's played out. And you look at
Would be the
Essendon there
case.
with Sullivan Roby, who's been the
Do you
draft
hear that
bolter,
Mason
what a
Cox
talent
might go to
he is
Freo? He will
as
go to
well,
Freo
and
for
then
2
they
years.
managed
It's
to pick up
it's
Dyson
just about
Sharp as well.
confirmed.
Adelaide came hard
And now
for
Hawthorn have decided
that
to.
pick, and they didn't quite get there. So here we
Oh,
go.
they went
at
for
pick
Schubert.
23, the Hawthorn Football Club has selected
I actually
Aiden
probably would have
Schubert
been
from the Central
thinking
District
someone else there. I
Football
would have thought
Club,
Geelong
a
would have wanted
key
him, but I guess not.
forward who kicked 10 goals in 4 games for South Australia in the under-18s champs.
Yeah, the shoe in.
Oh.
He's got
Well, he's a
development
sort of a
left in him. I
ruck
think
forward,
that's
but
the
it was
really
listed as a
exciting thing
ruck.
for
I
clubs
guess
looking
not.
at
It
this
says
guy.
key
He
40,
doesn't
so
turn
maybe I put the
18
wrong
until
fucking
the back
information
end,
in.
I think a couple of days
Must
before
have just
Christmas.
done that.
196 centimetres. Got shoulders on him the
But
size
he
of
can
his
play
desk.
up there,
He
right?
can-
That's
he
what
can
it was
mark,
profiled
he
as.
competes, he can run all day as well. So they've clearly identified
Who's
that
pick-
as an area. I thought they might look
I
at a
assume you
different
don't know
tool,
much about
if
him,
Schubert was
Jaden,
gone at
but
this point.
I'll
The pick's
yeah,
obviously
fair.
swapped
You
around,
can't
but,
see.
I think
no,
that's a
just
good
move,
pick. And I
yes.
like him as a prospect.
Just make
He
it
grew as
smaller.
the year went on.
Yeah.
And he fronts up. You know, some key forwards
Harry
as youngsters,
Kyle.
Can sometimes
was
battle with
a
that competitive
matched
side.
bid.
They grow into that, I feel
think it
like.
was another
I don't
West
think that's
Coast
something he has to
player
go
that-
to. He's got that
another
down
West
pat.
Coast
Can I
match bid.
say, the one thing I look for in key forwards is competitiveness, as Cal just mentioned. We've just seen a Brisbane team that had Logan Morris and Ty Gallup as their main key forwards on grand final day, who didn't necessarily mark everything. but they
Hawthorn have
brought
drafted another
everything to
forward,
ground.
so that
That's
is
what Aiden
yeah,
Schubert
more
does.
of a
He
forward
competes,
player.
He's
So
got the
that's
running base. He played
two
a bit in the
forwards.
ruck this year as well, which
They're
shows
sort of stacked.
he's got that aerobic capacity as well. That's what I've loved about his game. He's the first key forward taken in this year's draft. I like it as a pick for Hawthorn. Sam Mitchell wasn't afraid to potentially go with 4 tall forwards at stages, particularly in the back half of 2025. So there's a chance
Kai
for him
Finch
to grow
tomorrow.
into that forward line alongside
Yeah,
the likes of
he's
Mitch Lewis
happening.
and Cal Shadir.
We're making
and
sure
Mabior
that's
Chol as
happening,
well.
which
So,
I'm quite
I
excited
really
about.
Like that
Hopefully
pick
we'll get
from Hawthorn. He adds to Cam Nan and
We'll
2
get
South
someone else as
Australians
well.
that'll come into the same side together. 2 boys
Not
from Central
100%
District
sure
as
the
well
second
that will know
selection,
each other
but
very
Finch
well
is
with
the
Cam
main
Nan there.
the
So
main man.
I like the mix that Hawthorn's
Sarah, 21 months.
And he's dedicated too.
Thank
because
you.
12 months ago he decided
Fucking
that
dedication.
he needed to set himself apart from other top
You're one of the
forwards
best
in the
members
competition and decided
for
to
sure on the channel.
embark upon a rigorous running program.
You're on the
so
streams
he's
no matter
really
what.
worked on
Even
his
if the
aerobic
streams aren't going
capacity
great, you're still
in
there.
the last 12 months or so.
This stream's
His
been
favourite
alright. I
player
mean,
is Buddy Franklin.
comparing it to
He's a
last
Port
year's,
Adelaide fan, but just admires Buddy Franklin.
I enjoyed
so
last
this is
year's a
nice
bit more,
little
probably
piece of
because I just
symmetry, I guess, with ending up
St
at
Kilda had
Hawthorn
more
Football
involvement
Club.
and
So Aidan Schubert gets to the Hawks at pick 23,
a
which
bit more
means
familiar with
we are
the
nearing
draft
the end
pool,
of
but
the
I
first
still
round
didn't
of
mind
the
this stream.
Telstar 2025
I think it's been
AFL
still
draft.
pretty interesting and
Geelong are
enjoyable.
now on the clock. This is the first time they've had a pick tonight. They've waited a long time to get to this point.
Yeah, they have. Archie Ludowick could be in the mix. Harley Barker could be in the mix. Blake Threadgold's another who they've shown interest in. They've also weighed up some bidding options. Don't know if it's going to be Jack Ison, but
you predicted
there's
the
some
top
other players
three.
that they've been linked to around that point.
Did
of the
you
draft to Louis Emmett,
refer to the
checked
Carlton
out. So there's some different players I think that are
phantom
right
draft,
in
or
that mix
did you
for
just
the Cats. I'm
based on
fascinated to see which way they go because that's
choices
been
yourself?
it's kind of played to script to some
Because I don't
degree
think
in
it's
terms of
that
the
difficult
names,
predicting the top
tonight.
5 or
So we
6.
just
I
wait to
guess
see
it's just
now,
the order of
what
players.
the grouping is in these last couple of
Was
picks.
Zeke
And
Geelong gonna
Freo
be
as well as
bidded
the
by the
final
Eagles?
live pick off the
Or was he going
first
to be
round of the
bidded by
draft
like
too.
Yes,
the
and they've had
Tigers?
to
I
wait
don't
the
know.
longest time, have
Yeah.
Freo, and then clubs that haven't
So
had
Cats are
selection
next.
at
Cats
all,
have 24,
tonight,
and then
Port
it's
Adelaide,
Freo, and then we're done.
St
We'll be done
Kilda,
before 10 actually, which isn't
Collingwood.
bad. I might
I think that's it. Those are the
use
three
a bit
clubs
of that
that
extra
will
time
have to
to
wait until tomorrow night.
Well, I haven't
too,
had
of
dinner
the
yet,
draft.
so
That's
probably
when
that.
their real work starts.
Geelong always like to trade,
wonder
not
if they
really
go
draft.
height
Yeah,
here
well, they've never really been a
Geelong. I
massive
mean,
draft
they
team, but
clearly
then when
tried
they
to get
do
Noel Marshall in through the
like
trade
select
period.
players, they seem to always
Clearly
nail
tried
the
to get
picks, and they always seem
Curnow
to
in through
pick
the trade
gems.
period
So
as well. They addressed their midfield depth
pretty
with
much, no
James
matter who
Hawthorn
this
coming into the
player is,
football
it's
club. So
probably
I
going to
wonder
end up being a
if
player
height's
that slots
consideration
right
here.
in
We've mentioned
and has
Blake
an
Threadgold
impact pretty
potentially being
quickly.
an option for them.
Which would be a little bit annoying, but that's just Geelong for you.
Is still on the ball. I've struggled with that all week.
I'm laughing because like 2 days ago you said
I fucked my spreadsheet up, so if I stream tomorrow, I'll have to do a new one.
Why stop now?
Jevon Philippou is also still a
Yeah.
you know, in the
There are worse names that you could stumble across.
mix
let's
for
be
next
honest.
the next day, so he could maybe come
I know,
to the
we're all,
Saints
like,
as well.
Holding our breath and looking at the players that are still
Well,
left
they do.
on the draft
What
board.
I will say about Geelong is that they do.
But
need
all of
to
the
get
main
younger. I think there's been
like
a point of emphasis on getting younger. Only 2 top 30
prospects have been
picks in the
selected, so there
last
hasn't
3
really been a
seasons.
massive slider.
Patrick Dangerfield's
to be honest.
36 next year. Mark Blitzar's is 35 next year. Tom Stewart's 33 next year. They still rely quite heavily on that veteran group of talent. It led them
I think the
to a
Suns
grand
will be
final
winning
this
the
year.
grand
You wonder
final
if,
next year. They got
potentially they
Christian
do need to get
Petrarca
younger and
and
start
the second
thinking and
draft
having an
pick.
eye on the future a little bit as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Normally, that's the
correct.
pick
And
2,
the other bit
pick
is this
3,
is the
even
pick
if it is a
that,
pick
was
2
in
or
the
3,
mix
normally
for
it doesn't
one of
make
the
that
Charlie
much of
Curnow
an
picks they
impact
threw
the
up.
next
It was also
season. So
one
I
of the
don't.
Ron Marshall picks that they
The
threw
Suns
up.
are going to be
Obviously,
relying too much on
both of those
Yulon to
efforts,
be doing all the heavy
didn't
lifting.
go the
but
way that they wanted.
I get what you mean. They'll be set for the next few years, but
this is now.
I don't think there's premiership
So with pick
material
24, the Geelong
yet.
Football Club has
Harley
selected
Baker, the
Harley
Cats
Barker,
select.
who
Barker,
unfortunately
sorry.
had a
He's that
season-ending
winger
ACL
from
injury. But Cal, I
South
read
Australia.
one of your Phantom Form guides
I've
where you
got written down.
described him as having a fair bit of pizzazz.
Yeah, and that's the way
I
I'd
might
say
head
it.
off now. Fair enough. I mean, the
Yeah,
stream
and he's got that. He
won't
can
be
run
lasting too much
2.86
longer,
over
given
20.
we've got a
His
couple more
championships in
rounds,
South Australia were really
a couple
exciting
more
on the
draft
wing.
picks
He
to
takes
go.
the marks. He can fly for a ball.
I'm still figuring out
he goes 40 kicks
whether
a
I
goal
make
as
the
well.
choice
So
of doing
has a good
tomorrow. So I
balance
need
of
you guys to help
athleticism
with that
and
decision a
speed
little bit.
and power.
Either I don't do the draft and I do something else, or I do the draft.
And let him work
I
and
kinda
develop
wanna
in
strain
the VFL. It's Geelong,
if I don't
isn't
do
it?
the
Like
draft.
there might be some Ollie Dempsey to this guy in terms of his development process and
Do even do a
athleticism
poll.
and marking overhead. So I'm sure that Ollie will be someone who can buddy up with at the Cats. And
I've got
and
another
took
Ollie
some time to
Dempsey
get going as
type,
well
which
after being a
just
rookie
is
pick
very fair
himself.
for the
So,
rest of us, isn't it?
yeah, I think he's a good player. Harley Barker, I think if he wasn't injured in the back half of the season, we probably would have seen him drafted a fair bit higher.
Okay, interesting. All right, so Harley Barker becomes a Cat. So congratulations to Harley making the move across from South Australia.
You're not
And
gonna be
now
angry
it's all just
getting
left to
drafted to Geelong,
Fremantle,
I tell
who
you
have
that
waited
for
the
a fact.
longest time tonight for their first selection in the 2025 Telstra AFL draft. They've got 3 minutes and 36 seconds
it's doing this thing
on
where it's
the
not letting me
clock.
select you.
Yeah.
It might not be over. They could easily bid here on Adam Swade, who they rate highly. The Bombers.
Are the Bombers
NCA.
prepared for that? To come
They're
in the
prepared,
first
but
round?
I don't think they'd match if it comes now. I don't think they could match if the I don't know what the Essendon next pick is if I'm looking ahead.
It is pick 36.
Yeah, I points scenario in my head. head is too
Yeah,
hard to
they
work.
don't
out
have
what the
another
deficit
one
would be.
after
They don't want to go into
comments I need to catch up on here. Give me a sec.
Yeah. And they don't want to go
My
into a points
favourite
deficit
player.
either
So
move
I
out
have no
there.
personal
Just
connection to
fixtures,
any of
that's
these
a
players, so I don't really have
consideration
a
if the bid does
favourite,
come
to
there
be
for him.
honest
Like
with you.
Fed Gold, they could just
But
make
the one
a
I like
shown
the
interest
most,
in
to
him.
be honest with you, the name that's sort
And
of
also
come out at
Tyler
me, and the one I'm
Williams is
excited
another
to
player
watch
that they
next year is
considered bidding
Solomon
on
Roby.
as well.
But I
He's
have
a
no
West Coast Next Generation
connection to
Academy
any of these
player.
draftees.
And
So
Jack
it's hard to
Ison
pick a
is another one
favourite.
who is in that
So
mix
I'd pick
too.
if St Kilda, whoever St Kilda would have drafted, I would have probably just gone with them. But
as well.
we have to wait for tomorrow.
Okay, well, we'll see what Fremantle has
And
done
there's a
here.
bid
Just you
pending.
were mentioning
See what
Essendon
happens.
before, but they have a couple of players that are part of their NGA as well.
Yeah. How do you
Not
feel the
just
under
Adam
16s bet?
Swade,
I
El Ashka.
haven't mentioned it in a.
I don't think the bit
Well, I
about
try
El
not
Ashka,
to
I think it'd
mention
be
it
on
anymore
Swade,
because it's like
most
there's not
likely,
much I can do
and
about
Tyler
it.
Williams is the other
Like,
option,
it's not
but I
my.
think it'd be Swade. I'm not sure Essendon
It's
match
not in
this.
my control. I don't think it's going to be a massive problem, but
I think they could let him go.
You know, it might just mean
we
that
wait to see.
It'd be fascinating.
They could be on the clock now, though. The bomb.
Um,
You do get time to go on the clock and say, okay, do we trade something here?
You've got 5 minutes.
Yeah,
You've got
so
5
you
minutes.
can actually
Do
make
we
a
trade?
trade
Do we
to
trade a
get the
future?
points.
They don't have a future third-round pick, but they
yeah, it
could
might
go
just mean they're a little bit more
27th,
strict on, like,
get some points in. Someone might
the
take
signings
that.
for like those that are under a certain age. But I'm sure if you still want to watch YouTube and use social media, you can probably find a way around it anyway. So there'll probably still be people that are wanting to watch it or watch.
So that'll be tight, but
if
I
it
think
means
it's going to
less
take some
comments from those that are under the age of
if they're
16, they
gonna
can't
let's be
comment.
honest
Well,
as
it's not a
well,
big
I
worry
think
because
Essendon
a
probably
lot of the
would've
16 under comments have
expected
been
and had plans in place.
just spam that I
knowing
get
that
in
the
my
bid was
stream.
going
So
to
it
come
might
around this region,
clean
and
up
if
the
it
chat
didn't
if
come around this
anything.
region, they would have said,
Um,
here's our list of clubs that
do
we're
we
going
eat
to call
dinner
straight
tomorrow
away because
night or
here's the
not?
clubs that have shown an interest in potentially doing
we
a
eat
deal.
dinner tomorrow
They'll be
night?
making
Mate,
those
you eat
phone
dinner
calls now
both
to
nights.
decipher exactly what it would take.
All right, last
They can get it
bid.
done. Maybe
Oh,
they
last
don't.
bid.
Maybe he's headed to Fremantle.
It was certainly mooted enough. And
Oh, last
Fremantle,
bid. I mean, it's hopefully going to be the last
obviously
bid.
has
This
liked
is
him a
like
lot
the
as a
8th
player.
fucking
To
bid,
make
though.
a
I
bid
tell you
here,
what.
you've got to be really strong in your view that
all of it matched to part one.
Honestly, if you're making a bid on someone at
from
25,
one.
you probably have him ranked inside your first 15 in this year's draft, I think.
Yeah.
Or thereabouts, because there's such a
North
variance
Melbourne,
of views.
Essendon, and West Coast have
So
brothers in the AFL.
they'd clearly be happy to keep him if the Bombers say, thanks for your work, all the best.
And if it is Adam Swade, I think the Bombers are on record, and you had Matt Rosa on your show earlier this week, but saying there's basically no guarantees that either of our NGA
For a second, I thought you were talking about like North have
Essendon.
two
So I think
brothers,
they've been
Essendon have two
clear
brothers, but
from
yeah,
the
you're
start,
talking about
and
the
Adam,
Dersmers. So
and
they're all
Hussein
playing
El
for the
Ashka would
shittest
be
teams.
completely across that. It would be disappointing because you've spent a lot of time at the club and you probably have your
And
heart
then
set on
Yasmin for
going
Carlton,
there.
so they're all
it'll be
playing for
interesting to
shit
see
teams.
what plays out if that is the player of
What do you
course
think of
that
the wild card
Fremantle
round?
have
Do you want my
a bid on? I mean,
thoughts in a little bit
Fremantle
more
is a
detail? I
team
did a
that,
podcast
you look
actually on my
across the
second
board,
channel, so go
Riley,
and give that a
there's
listen.
not really that many gaps.
Probably
in
should
their
advertise
list,
that
is
a
there?
bit.
It's just about the most complete list in the
See how that's
AFL.
doing.
We've got the,
I've got
the
no
best
idea.
midfield in the comp, I think, and you add Luke Jackson and Sean Darcy. as the
Probably
ruck
should be
options on top
doing
of
well,
that,
but I
and
could
they got
be
stronger
very
over
wrong.
the off-season with Judd McVeigh. And
Oh,
then
it's got 0 comments.
Murphy Reed's a gun, it's going to be a gun. I'm sure they'll hope that it's a similar-ish
lovely.
position in the draft to where they got Murphy Reed. I mean,
Yeah.
sort of that. What was
See,
he,
the thing
17
with
Cal?
I
You
just
don't
had a
like
look
Reed.
at the
Never forget.
streams,
Never forget.
right?
You shouldn't have got there.
Dan is getting all of these draftees on calls,
One more
and he's
victory
got
lap.
Dylan Alexander,
But
who's
I think
like
the fact they hit on Murphy Reed last year
probably the
gives
most
them a bit of
intelligent
flexibility to take
mind when it comes to draft
potentially a
stuff.
flyer
So
or a player,
you're just not going to be
that
able
they
to
really like
match
here and gives that player a
with
bit
quality
more
when it
freedom
comes to
to
that.
develop
That's
in their own
fucking
time. So
very
I
high
love what
quality
Fremantle's
stuff.
been able to do in their recruiting
I
team
just
over
noticed
there
that.
at the
I didn't even
Dockers,
realise he was streaming.
and I think they're going to be
I've done
a
okay
top
to
four
still
force
get my own
next year. I
piece of
think
the
they
pie
should have
with
been
a
this
couple
year.
hundred
Things
viewers.
went the wrong way and they lost that elimination final to Gold Coast, but I think, as I said,
Well,
they're
look,
the
if
most
you are
complete
really
side, the most
19 and
complete
20,
list
mate, you're
in the
acting
AFL
like
at the
you're
moment.
under at 16.
On the flip side, who's the most income?
Acting like you're 11 with that comment.
You can probably sense that by who
All right.
the early picks.
So this
Yeah,
is dragged out
and all those clubs have
long enough
multiple
here.
early picks too.
Another
this is
match
why we
bid.
rebuild, and this is
why we have the draft now.
Exactly, this is why we have
Who
the
are
draft.
the
and I
Dockers
like it like
thinking?
this. I don't want it to go to a lottery or anything like that. Are you on board for a lottery system?
No, I think there's a few flaws in the lottery system.
I'm with you on that one. Okay, so this bid is still pending. Let's just take
Still
a moment
pending?
now while this is all happening and unfolding, just
Far
to
out.
recap what has happened tonight, because this very well could be the last pick of round one. Of course, night 2 of the Telstra draft still to come tomorrow. We'll be back here again on afl.com.au and the AFL Live app.
this is
but this is the top 10,
I'm just waiting
how
for
it
this last
played
pick
out,
now,
and
to be
really,
honest.
Cal, you were sweating on those Tiger picks.
Anyone in chat?
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole top rung of the draft wasn't that in a lot of ways.
So
just
I
working
guess
out
if
what
we're
they were
talking
gonna
about
do
big
next.
winners,
And
it's sort of
we
harder
saw,
to
them go with Sam Cumming.
grade with the
probably the more
draft as
expected
close
and
to
in
trade
recent
feud.
days
It's always
more
like,
of
it's
a
always an unknown. But
towards Sam Grill. I think I spoke to you this afternoon.
I think Essendon have done well.
I have this.
Of teams, in my opinion, and I think Gold Coast clearly have
But you didn't want to
clean
change
sweep.
it.
They're probably
Stand
the
it.
honestly the big winners.
That's all
fair.
good.
But if you had any
there was certainly a groundswell
opinions
of
yourself, put them in chat. I can
it was coming.
go through them and agree or disagree.
The steam grill.
Surely with 200 watching, there'll be someone that at least
Decent.
knows
The
enough
grill
to
pick
want
was
to
coming
comment.
after coming, wasn't
Grill.
Yeah, that's right. And it made sense. The more that it came about in terms of their tactics and strategy, I think that became obvious. In not releasing the strategy, it looked like the strategy was being released.
Well, they are in the finals. They finished ninth, according to Andrew
in some ways,
Dillon.
they got their guys, and it's worth the play, isn't it? To try and see if you can eke out anything extra to move back 1 or 2 spots, knowing you're still going to get the same guy. In the end, those teams held, and that's what the rest eventuated. I think the Bombers would be wrapped with their haul. I think Melbourne would be over the moon about its haul as well. They took Pickett. That was maybe, again, I think...
What is going on here? Why is this taking so long?
Attendee as well.
Isn't the max amount of time 5 minutes? If you pass 5 minutes, that's it?
Kept creeping up slowly and slowly because we had Lockie Doverston added to that. Okay, so
here
we
we
go.
Done it. All right, they
Essendon
picked
has
Adam
decided not to match Fremantle's bid. So with pick 25, the Fremantle Dockers have secured Adam Swade from Bombers NGA. Obviously played for the Calder Cannons as well. I mean, he missed 2024 with that ACL injury, but came back and played footy this year and made the Coates Talent League Team of the Year, Cal.
Bombers chose not to bother. They've already had enough.
He obviously had that knee injury throughout 2024, but saw him earlier this year, and he played a couple of blinding games for the Cannons. Just
why don't the Bombers match that?
He's dogged when it's in him. He loves having the footy in his hands, and he also showed a little bit of goal kicking now as well, playing for Vic
one
Metro.
Of the reasons they have another player that
probably where he'll start his
are really targeting.
So,
I don't know what their next selection is though on the draft, or if they
a very happy-go-lucky young man, and he goes west. Cooper Duff-Tyler, his close mate from the Cannons, is
I would have assumed that they would have matched
that might make it a little bit easier to settle in, but the Dockers have done their work. They would have made this bid knowing fully, looking at Essendon's picks, that it might be a challenge for them to bid, and that's the way the Bombers have played it out. I don't think Essendon wanted to protect its first pick for next year. No one knows how they're going to go next year. They're going to be one of the youngest teams in the competition. I don't think they were willing to risk putting a deficit on their pick for next year.
And just
apparently it's got to do with their pick for next year.
What that does, if you put a deficit on your first pick next year, it means if Essendon finishes bottom, they finish with the number 1 pick.
Because a lot of people are expecting them to finish low again. I think bottom 4, so they'll get another high-end pick
next year, even though
so Adam Swade,
Essendon not willing to risk that. Fremantle gets its man in Adam Swade, and the other thing this does now is it brings the first round of the draft to an end. North Melbourne on the clock. 24 hours later.
I know. So we're going to take a little bit of a breather so I can inhale this picnic bar, but we're going to unpack the first round of the draft in just a moment.
We're done.
Let's
draft
take
is
a trip
over.
down memory lane, though, and reflect
I don't
on
reckon
some
I'm spending
of the highlights from
much time, if any time, to be honest with you, doing much of a recap, but we'll see what the chat's saying. Cal and a lot just waffling as we wait. Mate, at least they know half of what they're talking about. I've been waffling all streams. But that's the fun of it. I wanted to cover the first round, and we've got finally through all the picks with lots of academy bids. I think we've gotten 5. Will Collingwood get any draft picks tomorrow? Yeah, they're getting a few. I've got to still figure out what I'll do tomorrow with the streaming. If I do the draft don't do recaps. Well, it doesn't matter if I do a recap. If I did a recap, it wouldn't affect whether I do one tomorrow night or not. So you can always just leave the stream. Yeah, I probably aren't. I'm not the greatest person in terms of answering any high-end questions, but I haven't really gotten much of that so far on the stream. A lot of the people tuning in are kind of just like myself, kind of more the casual side of things. So I'm going to look to see who's currently still live, and I might send my chat over to them, even though I'm not sure how many people will still want to get more draft coverage with Tommy. Currently he's live and does some really good stuff. So I could maybe send you guys over. But give me a second, I'm just going to look at one more thing. Another money grab. What do you mean by another money grab? You got to be more specific. Are you talking about the draft? I don't know. Anyways, I'll wrap it up. I'll think about tomorrow night. If I don't stream, it's just probably because I don't really care that much. I'd rather just watch it on my own. Or if I stream, I could stream something else. I'll let you guys decide on that. So let me know on the chat if you want me to do another one tomorrow. I'll do a bit more investigative work, I guess, in the plays. But draft has never been my my forte in terms of content, and it certainly probably shows. So I'm going to send you guys over though to Pommy, I reckon. Even if you want to tune in to say hello. Yes, Stuart. I don't think we have enough people that really want me to do one tomorrow night, to be honest. And I might instead use that time for something more productive, like just work on one of the best videos of the year, which will be next week, hopefully. Any more questions? Actually, I'll just quickly go through the remaining few. We still have 150 in, which, to be honest with you, isn't bad. Bye, Cardi. I'm going to go live tomorrow. Have a good night. We'll see. Again, I might not do it. So it was all going to be dependent on how I thought the stream performed, and it's not like guaranteeing me to want to go to again tomorrow. Is it real that Harry Dean Carlton? Like I get comments like that, and that's just about sums it all up. I don't understand what you mean at all by that. I've got a question. Who was a standout for Tasmania in the Under-18 National Championship and best defender? What year? I don't know what year you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about this year? I've got no idea about any of the Tassie prospects for this year. That's what you're talking about. Jimbo Kablamo. Swoop will be doing. Yeah, Swoop. Perhaps Saints TV. This draft. I've got fuck all of an idea, to be honest with you. I've only just started doing the research for the draft this bloody afternoon, to be completely honest. I'll send you guys over to Pommy though. Let me do that now. And we are live. I'm just going to put the link in the chat. Hold up, give me a second. Let's see. Thoughts on the way Hawthorn used their first two rounders. So I haven't actually got it on my screen here. I should have actually put it up to see who selected what. But Hawthorn, they got the two forwards, didn't they? I thought they were maybe going to want to go a midfielder, still like best available mids, but they've gone the two forwards. So again, I'm not really one to like judge too much, but I don't know. A bit of an odd one for mine. Thoughts on Adelaide's 2026 performance? Just messing with you. I can't bloody clue either. Yeah, look, it wouldn't shock me if there was a key player that you mentioned that actually did perform well for Tassie, but I'm sure it would have been at least brought up somewhere. I wouldn't have not had let that slip past me. But fair enough. All right, I'll do a poll actually, to be honest. So just let me know if you want a stream tomorrow, but it might not be a draft stream. It might just do something different because it could honestly just be the same. I'm not gonna know fuck all. I'm not gonna lie. Let me put the link in the chat. Give me a sec. We ended up getting over 100 likes. That's good as well. Appreciate the likes. Yeah, I might do a little recap draft video on my second channel. If I don't, we'll find out what happens tomorrow night. But thank you for those that did stick around. And yeah, appreciate